From the Georgia Dome in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, the WWE presents WrestleMania 27, featuring the very best from Raw, SmackDown, and three-way theater. And now your host, the jabroni-beaten, pie-eating, trail-blazing, eyebrow-raising, supernova of entertainment, the most electrifying man in showbiz today, he's The Rock! And your best-in-show guest host, the SmackDown head of security, that powder-looking, remember that movie Powder? Sexually confused, fittest man in professional wrestling today, Mr. DTF Dan Terry. This is Three-Way Theater.
Now, the supernova of sports entertainment, would that not be Nova?
The big nasty, the new nasty
The
Nova?
new nasty Nova?
No, I want to say you didn't get that quite correct. You forgot it. The la 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 pie eating.
I didn't add in the
Breathe,
rock
Mikey,
sound.
breathe.
Well, I mean, he didn't need that. It was implied.
Yeah. I was waiting for the Anna Gasteyer opening.
I thought that's exactly where you were going, but you said you had a thing, so I didn't want to.
The guy could throw me off my thing, but
Anna Gasteyer.
Daryl Hammond.
It was definitely a Saturday Night Live-esque.
It was a
Musical guest Kevin Rudolph.
And musical guest Boxes for Bonfire.
With a special appearance by Snooki.
Ladies and gentlemen, Snooki.
I thought it was in New York until I realized nope, it was Hotlanta.
It was in Hotlanta. Oh. I hate Hotlanta.
Yeah, Hotlanta at the Georgia Dome, fool.
April 3rd, 2011.
Oh, are we?
Well,
are we
first of all,
wait, are we recording?
We are recording.
Oh.
And welcome to Three-Way Theater's Best in Show.
That's right.
Oh.
I'm JC.
I'm Mike
Lumberjake.
Pava.
We stepped on each other.
I'll let you go.
I'm Lumberjake. I'm
If you
always in the
step on him again, he won't make it. Mikey, what do we do on Best in Show?
Well, we would take a show from the vault that Lumberjake handpicks, and as a foursome, we have to decide which is the best and worst match of the show. And I mean foursome.
yeah, because we're usually a threesome.
Right, but only on Best in Show do we have a special guest.
Okay.
Foursome, they usually want it.
And
That man you hear right there is our guest. Welcome, Mr. Dan Terry.
Thank you for having me tonight.
What an introduction.
Or what should we call you? We didn't even ask. We just.
I mean, he's Dan Terry, right?
Sure.
I'm just
What else would we call him?
Daniel Teriyaki.
You can
Yeah.
call me Foursome Dan Terry.
Foursome. That's why they call you
That
that.
makes so much sense now.
All right.
Yeah, welcome to the show. You've made a cameo appearance in the past on Three-Way Theater.
Yeah, right before Mike Pava kicked me on the truck.
Yeah, SummerSlam 92. And I believe Dan Terry voted Shawn Michaels and Rick Martellus as match of the night that night.
That was a great match.
Good match.
Well, what are we doing tonight for Best in Show?
Well, Jay kind of teased it with our 2011.
Yeah, it's April 3rd, 2011. You guys, we're watching the sentimental classic, WrestleMania 27.
Who is it the sentimental classic for?
Mr. Brett Ryan
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan
Oh,
Gosling.
right.
yeah.
Our past guest on Best in Show.
Yeah, this was the show that got him into wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, and we have him to thank
Want to
for
feel
this
old?
match
He was 13 when this show happened.
Jesus
in the
Christ.
year of our Lord 2011. In front of 71,617 people.
I think
right.
that's legit.
I think it is, and here's why.
They counted like the roster and the backstage.
Well, they claim that this was the biggest entertainment record at the Georgia Dome, which puts them in a certain group. So you can't count sports games, for example,
Okay.
which does hold the record for the largest amount in the Georgia Dome,
does
which
it
would be
seat usually?
75,892 for the 2008 championship football game between Florida and Alabama.
Yeah.
Now, the
Roll
all-time...
Tide.
Go Huskies.
Does anyone want to guess what the all-time pro wrestling attendance record in the Georgia Dome had been?
Would that be
WCW. Goldberg and Hogan.
and Hogan.
You
Monday Night
guys
Raw?
are
The Monday Night
100%
Nitro.
correct. Yes.
Yes.
Good job, guys.
Can you imagine how much money they would have made if they had done that on pay-per-view?
There was a whole episode of 83 Weeks about that.
Really?
Yes, and Bischoff explained why they did it on free TV. He cared more about free TV because more people would see it than he did.
Smart.
Because more people would see it than on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but like then they can just show replays on the TV show, and then the pay-per-view more people would have paid money to see.
Well, this is the same WCW that eventually didn't tell cable providers that they were running long for Halloween Havoc, and they cut off Diamond Dallas Page versus Goldberg. And they just gave it away for free the next night on Nitro.
They really
well.
paved the way for other independent wrestling companies to go way over time on their shows.
well,
Every indie promoter was like, me too.
honestly, my first note on this show was this the first instance of WWE really like messing with time management?
I mean, I believe this is the last WrestleMania before the network comes out, if I'm correct.
That is true.
So
it's not because the network
Because they announced it at WrestleMania.
because wasn't
I believe it was
WrestleMania
the next
30 the one that was like the first one that was exclusively on the network?
Well,
No.
which is the one that announced the network, and then the network didn't happen
because
for like
this-
5-6 years?
This wasn't on the network. This was
I understand.
still the pay-per-view show.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know how much longer they went right from the network. So this is a 4-hour program. You're really getting your $60 worth, aren't you guys?
So
Fucking-
the network itself, it's on Wikipedia, says was launched on January 8th, 2014.
Ooh, so 2 years later.
It was announced in 2011, but I believe it launched on
Okay.
2014.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
so that actually explains something later in the
Okay.
show because there is a weird cut to black.
And then a smash cut back to, was that the network
That was the
announcement?
network commercial.
That's hilarious.
Now, was this the network commercial with the
Dub-
wow, wow,
yep,
wow, wow,
yep.
wow, wow?
that was
So-
right after the Snooki match or
Yep,
something. It was like
dubstep.
right at the end.
Okay.
Oh my god, that. And,
Wow, 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 wow.
and then the network didn't come out forever after
Nope.
that.
Well,
It's-
clearly not. That's Dan's
We had
note
3
there.
years to wait.
Why?
God.
Build up.
And it was something completely different than what they had announced, which would have been a channel. And I'm happy they went the route of
I
being an
prefer
on-demand
on-demand.
service.
Yeah.
Yes,
I remember
definitely.
the on-demand for TNA, actually. I used to watch that a lot.
Okay.
You did?
So-
No
but-
one was demanding that.
Luckily,
Did you pay for it?
no, they had like free matches you could watch.
Okay.
But so just also WrestleMania 27 is the reason I got the WWE Network. So I
Interesting.
could watch this. I used to,
2 days ago.
Okay.
I actually used to use Miles's for a long time to watch all my nitros. Then I lost his password, and now I have my
And
own.
you were too concerned with asking him again for the password.
No, he actually
Yeah.
changed his password because he was sick of having nitros queued up. In his
He's like, who the hell is watching all these Glacier matches? And
So we've all seen this before.
yeah,
I saw it
I
at-
watched this on pay per view.
Okay.
Hooters
All right. Hooters with Rui Botello.
with Rui Botello.
All
I
right.
have an idea for a restaurant called Cooters.
Okay.
Okay.
We can talk about that
Hold
later.
your investment pitches till after the show.
Is his first
Patent
name
pending.
Cousin?
It's actually so they're gonna wear tight shorts with fur on the front.
Oh,
Okay.
I like it. I like it. Does anybody want to know what else was happening in wrestling around this time?
Please tell us.
Okay, how about this? Kurt Angle was arrested on March 25th in North Dakota. He was found slumped over in his car in the median of the highway. Somebody had called, obviously, that there's a man in his car.
It's true. It's true.
Yep.
Who among us, though?
That's intense.
Now, the officer smelled alcohol in his breath and gave him a field sobriety test, which he, of course, failed. But he was charged, instead of with a DUI, he was charged with operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated, which is different than a DUI and a lesser charge because nobody actually saw him operate
DWI?
the vehicle.
The Rhode Island law is that if the keys are in the ignition,
Exactly.
you get fucked. You get with the DUI no matter what.
Yeah.
Sin Cara debuted for WWE on the house show Loop.
Jeez, was that long ago?
He was working Primo Cologne.
But this is the first.
This
Yeah.
was
Yes.
Hunico.
But still, I don't imagine it being that long ago.
Was it Hunico or Mystico?
Mystico.
No, it wasn't.
Mystico was the first.
Wasn't it
Mystico was-
Hunico first and then
No,
Mystico and then
Mystico,
Hunico
because they made a
again?
big deal out of Mystico being signed. He was
Right.
one of the first Triple H guys. And
Man, Triple H has a lot more misses than hits.
Yeah.
I think he's a mister.
Son of a bitch.
No, he's Mr. Stephanie McMahon.
All right.
On March 20th, Sir Oliver Humperdinck passed away after a long battle with cancer. He was 62
Big
years
Daddy
old.
Dink, R.I.P.
He's only 62.
Yeah, I thought he was 62 and he watched him in Beach Blast 92.
Well, that's how I felt about Gene Okerlund.
Right? Like, oh, Gene Okerlund's 70 years old.
Michael Cole sent out a weird tweet just days before WrestleMania.
Oh, did he?
It
What
went
did it say?
something like this. It was sent to Josh Matthews, and it said, "Faggot."
Well, who hasn't
That was
said
it.
that to Josh Matthews?
Who among us?
That was it. It was immediately pulled. Cole apologized, saying that he didn't intend it how it was read. Now,
Well, you
now-
need the context for
well,
that, really.
well, to me, this sounded like somebody like a good friend of ours, Anthony Green, who would hijack a Facebook post or a Twitter account and just write very naughty things.
That's true.
So I feel like maybe that happened to Cole.
I like how you said A account because it was always yours.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
always your account.
I've got a friend named Timmy Smith that I send that tweet to and text to on a daily basis.
Can I just say?
I'll get
hey,
Anthony
hey,
Green.
Anthony
hey,
Green.
hey.
What's going on?
We were just.
Talk into the microphone, though, if you want to say something.
Like right here?
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
All
that's
right,
good.
perfect. So
He's never been on the show.
I will
before.
say the best.
Hold on, do you guys want to vote for WrestleMania 27 best match? Best and worst?
No.
no. That,
It's hard to say. They're all tied.
Ah.
So the best thing I probably ever posted on Mike Pava's Facebook, I would say was
yeah, go for it.
so I'm gonna be a dad.
Great reaction.
People took it
the
so
fallout
serious.
from that was harsh.
Family was like,
Was
"What?"
it as good as a Tim Lennox death hoax?
It was good.
It was great.
You're also not the only person I did that to. I did it to Dijak as well.
Dijakovic?
Dijakovic.
Oh, yeah. See, I always get it wrong.
He thought it was Dijakovic too. To be
Well,
fair.
all right. Thanks,
That's
Anthony.
right, Donovan Dijakovic.
Dynamite drop in there.
Check out Retro
According
AG.
to the wrestling professor, I'm responsible for Dijak's success.
That's true.
So
Oh, hey,
You're
Timmy.
watching Bird Up, the worst show on television.
Get out of here,
Bird
Timothy.
Up.
Get out of here.
All right, Baba Booey, get out of here.
Shut the door on your way
I
out.
love three-way theater.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
you better jump a bird up in your match.
Can't open the door.
Jesus Christ. Let's end this on a happy note.
okay.
A week after WrestleMania, Larry
Humperdinck
Sweeney
died.
passed away at the age of 30 years old.
Sweet and sour Larry Sweeney, he actually hung himself in a wrestling school.
Mikey, that wasn't happy at all.
shit.
Right.
It was very sad. Hold on.
Well, let's get to the show.
Sweet and sour Larry Sweeney was so good. He was the most charismatic guy on the fucking indies, and it really fucking sucks that he never got to like make it bigger because he had fucking mental issues and mental illness in his life, and it just really sucks because he was a guy that I was for sure was gonna make it as a manager, like make man. He was amazing. He was amazing.
Yeah.
You a big fan?
Huge fan of Sweet and Sour Larry.
Why do you
Sweeney.
think he died too early to make it, or he just
He was signed.
was
at
it his
one point, wasn't he?
issues?
Didn't
Was
he?
it his?
No,
I thought he was.
He was. I believe he was suffering from bipolar disorder, and it was.
Was he a little guy? Was he smaller?
He was like a thick guy, but he was shorter.
Yeah.
But he could talk his
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
ass off. It was just astounding.
He was the Texarkana champion, correct?
Yeah, the ICWA Texarkana television champion.
He was a big Steve Weiner fan.
Yeah,
Well,
him
who
and Steve
isn't?
Weiner were friends. And Steve still gets emotional talking about him.
Sure does.
But hey, WrestleMania 27, guys.
Hey, guys.
WrestleMania 27.
Let's start here at the dark match. Mm-hmm. We saw a U.S. title match between Sheamus and Daniel Bryan in a lumberjack match.
Oh, fuck. Was that...
Was that the match? Was 27 seconds
No,
long?
that was the previous WrestleMania.
Yes.
Now the previous WrestleMania.
No, I think it was the next year, wasn't
Nope,
it?
the previous WrestleMania.
The next
It might have been,
WrestMania
because
was...
I was
an
at
outside
because
TNT,
they were
show.
in the dark match. Then
You're
they
right.
got into the opener.
and then it was like 20 seconds long.
wow.
It was great. It was a
It
great
was
pop
legit
live.
a big boot, and that was it.
Yep.
Yep. And,
He was
Could you see it by the palm tree?
I couldn't see anything in that goddamn show.
But this match was a lumberjack match. It devolved quickly, though, after a big brawl broke out between the lumberjacks. Teddy Long came out and made it a WrestleMania Battle Royal.
I love that idea. Like, can we do that?
Sure.
Like,
Edit
match
this
starts
out.
out as a battle royal. I mean, as a lumberjack match, and then it's a battle royal because
If only you guys had this big 25-man tag team match every single year.
I don't
I
know
don't
what
think
you're
we're
talking
doing it
about.
this year.
Yeah, we did 3 years in a row. We're good.
Cybernetico is really difficult to
Really
pull
tough.
off.
Really tough.
And
So-
word up to Lumberjake for doing it. Word up.
Whatever
That's my,
Teddy
new,
Thunder said.
that's my new catchphrase. Word up.
Great Khali won the WrestleMania Battle Royal, last eliminating Sheamus.
oh, great. Well, fuck you, Daniel Bryan.
The other participants were Tyler Rex, Kurt Hawkins, Yoshitatsu, R-Truth, the Usos, Mark Henry, Primo Colon, Zack Ryder, Chavo Guerrero, David Hart Smith, JTG, Trent Beretta, Tyson Kidd, Johnny Curtis, Chris Masters, Evan Bourne, William Regal, Ted DiBiase Jr., Drew McIntyre, and Daniel Bryan.
Wow.
That's like a who's who of who the hell am I watching this right now?
There are a lot of creator wrestlers on this show.
What, like Tyler X?
Yes. Because he was the creator wrestler with the dreads.
Yeah. He was like a surfer dude.
He
He was a surf dude with attitude.
He was one of the ECW guys that they brought up, right?
Yep.
And you're like, this guy doesn't fit in ECW at
He
all.
was an extremist.
Yeah, he was part of the new brand, the new Superstar Initiative.
Oh, he sure was.
Yeah.
God, ECW.
So after that was the only dark match on the show?
Yeah, well, it was the 2 dark matches.
Right.
Sheamus actually had the choice between wrestling Daniel Bryan or Rey Mysterio at this show. He chose Daniel Bryan.
Got fucked for it.
Six nights before this, at Monday Night Raw, they sat down Daniel Bryan and Sheamus and said, "We're sorry, you're on the pre-show." And then
Really?
Daniel Bryan said, "You should have picked Rey."
Wow.
Man, for a guy that was always been disrespected, Daniel Bryan really turned out okay, huh? He really kind of was able to turn it
it
around.
took him.
Disrespected? I mean, what do you mean?
I mean, I just feel like,
You mean like when they were going to give him that, when the fans wanted him to have the big monster push and they turned him heel and put him
Daniel
in
Wyatt?
Yeah, then they were going to keep him as Daniel Wyatt.
Like that was the plan. Yeah,
That was the
I never
plan.
knew
It was
that.
going to be a
Okay.
WrestleMania match: Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
I think he's just so good that he can make anything work.
I mean, I agree.
Think no matter what you like, he cut a promo a few weeks ago about not buying his merchandise, and I thought it was amazing.
Eco-friendly terrorist
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan is
his
amazing.
belt is fucking
It's amazing.
brilliant.
I mean, talk about reinventing yourself
Yeah.
after
Oh, yeah,
after an
he's-
injury
yeah.
and having such this like
And on-
storybook career.
And then on the other hand, Sheamus.
Yeah,
He looks amazing, by the way.
And when you
right
think
now.
about
Yeah.
reinventing
Yeah.
yourself, what do we think about The Rock and returning to the company after...
He's someone that is over despite being out of place in the world we live in today.
Would
Talking
you
about eating pie and fucking strudel.
would you call it
and
stale, or would you like he?
Stale pie?
I feel like he tries to. Yeah, I
that
feel like
good pie?
I feel like he tries. You know, it's listen. Hold on, let me take a drink of water.
Foley artist Lumberjake.
Yeah, this is the people's water, so I don't care. You know what?
Yeah, but how did he come
really?
up with that?
I can
Like,
tell
come
you.
on.
I can tell you the second that
Come
he jumped.
on.
I can tell you the second he jumped the shark to me
Come on.
at in the main event when he yelled, "It doesn't matter what you think" to a laptop. He didn't say it in general. He said it to the laptop. He was looking at it.
The Rock is just one of those people who he appeals to every single person in the world. I think The Rock legit transcends no matter what race you are or anything like that. People love The Rock.
And you're right, because his debut coming back was huge.
Well, it was the unannounced appearance where he just showed up on Raw, and it was like that was a holy shit
Was
moment.
that the promo with just a long cut promo where he just walked to the back and talked?
It was like
to
the
everybody?
last segment on. It was like the last segment on Raw. It was like he was not announced at all for the show. Boom! This guy shows up. He announces he's going to be the host of WrestleMania. It's this giant thing, and then he called out John Cena for the first time.
Now, originally, the guest host was supposed to be Justin Bieber.
What?
Really?
Justin Bieber was huge in 2011.
Was he going to get his ass slapped by Mae Young?
He was going to be in. He was supposedly supposed to be in a match, as well as being a host. He was supposed to get a victory over some unknown wrestler. Of course, that
Daniel Bryan.
Just a jobber.
so that fell through, and we have The Rock coming back after 7 years, and it was a big deal. It's
It
probably
was.
one of the last big
And the Rock
surprising moments that you could have
And the Rock
had.
hasn't missed a WrestleMania since.
Did he have a movie around that time?
No,
Or
he wasn't
just
promoting
came
a
back?
movie. He was just there. And
Boots
guess
to
what?
asses.
Guess what, guys? He's never leaving again.
Mike,
What?
he left.
Oh, but he promised.
Yeah, well, John. Well,
I believe they also promised once in a lifetime.
But they
Once.
promised.
listen, John Cena also called him out on leaving this business and leaving the place that he loved.
Well, that's what started
And
the
then
whole
John
thing.
Cena, like a couple weeks ago, was like, "Hey, I was wrong."
Can I get a mulligan on a blackjack mulligan on this
Can we
one?
get a Mulligan Mike Paver on that?
Oh!
Deep cut. So The Rock made this big return. He's going to be the host.
And he had it took him 3 minutes from the second he stepped on the stage to his music stopping. 3 minutes.
Uh-huh.
It may seem small, but over time, this is going to add up.
Ooh. Are you going to keep a running tally?
You going to tally?
I kept a running tab on how much non-wrestling things happened. Now, I did not count promo videos towards
Like the matches, okay.
Yes. would count a hype video for Access. I would count that. Okay.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I'm looking forward to see what the total tally is. Can we take guesses?
I mean,
What was the length of the total show? Was it an hour and a half?
The show was 4
hours, 10 minutes.
Do we want to do quick guesses of what the total of non-wrestling
No,
time
we
is?
guess-
let me guess first.
Lumberjake knows. He's the game master.
That's why he's trying to trick you.
So we are only guessing the amount of time.
Cumulative time.
Not matches, but segments.
time.
Non-wrestling segments.
In a 4-hour show.
I can actually give you a rundown of what segments happened to give you like.
No,
a
Well,
that's-
let's just
no,
we're
makes
just
enough fun.
we've all watched it.
I'm gonna. I'll
Go ahead.
Okay, so I will say 40 minutes
Of non-wrestling time?
of non-wrestling time.
That seems super low.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours of non-wrestling
Yes.
time.
I was gonna guess
on a
about-
4-hour show.
I was
yeah.
going to say at least 2.5.
Okay, then you know what? I'm changing mine to an hour.
Nope,
You should go
40
2
minutes.
hour and 1
That's why
minute.
they call him 40-minute JC.
They wish.
Wow.
You wish.
No, they wish.
So a long and pointless promo starts off this
On
this
Monday night WrestleMania.
My God, it's insane.
Because he has nothing to really talk about. He already did his talking points. He made fun of John Cena, and there's nothing else to say.
Yeah, he's like, hey guys, I'm here, WrestleMania.
I'm here. I'm queer. Get over
used
it.
to it. So after The Rock did he talk about anything?
No.
Did he get anyone hyped?
No.
He should have came out with a big
I
flamethrower.
think The Rock, just The Rock being there, I think is enough to get people going.
If you were in that crowd, man, I bet you'd be losing your shit.
But do you need 20
sitting
minutes?
there, no. Well, listen. Here's the thing. Yabba,
Dabba.
Too?
yabba,
Dabba.
yabba.
Dabba.
2.
No, do. Just yabba dabba.
Guys, I promise you this, just like I'm never leaving again, this is going to be the greatest and most memorable WrestleMania of all
Yep.
time.
They said that a couple of times.
Yeah, but you didn't hear him. He actually said of mall time. He wasn't. Yeah, he was being
Oh,
very. Yeah, he tried to
interesting.
trick.
Maul.
Yeah,
Darth
that's right.
Maul.
That's right.
All right.
Like, was it Richard Mall?
So, what was the opener? What was the actual first match on the show?
That would be Edge versus Alberto Del Rio.
For the World Heavyweight title.
Now, this was the first time ever that the World Heavyweight title was defended in the first match of WrestleMania. It would later become,
the staple.
norm.
almost a normal thing.
And a very interesting thing about this match, this was Edge's retirement match. He retired the next night on Monday Night Raw.
Well,
and it
that's-
broke Todd Harris's heart. Ryan Gosling's heart.
Well, that's funny you actually say that because he technically, his last match took place 2 days after WrestleMania in a dark match of SmackDown 10-man tag. It was Edge, Christian, Triple H, Big Show, and Rey Mysterio versus Alberto Del Rio in the Core.
Well, fuck you, Lumberjake.
Edge actually didn't do any wrestling in the match, but the little weird thing about it was it took place in the Time Warner Cable Center. A few years before this, another man had his last match there, Chris Benoit. And then a couple years after this, a woman had her last match, Beth Phoenix.
This is the
It's
last
cursed.
for Canadians.
You're right. You're right.
So yeah,
Now,
all in the same arena.
wow. That's
That's really
Interesting.
interesting. Cool.
This is also the first WrestleMania. You know what? I can't spoil it.
Okay.
But this
Can't
title,
spoil it.
this title doesn't change hands.
Well, I mean, so Alberto Del Rio won the 2011 Royal Rumble.
He sure
40-man
did. It was the
Rumble.
40-man Royal Rumble.
I was there that night.
I was
actually.
too. High five.
God.
Ships in the night.
Yep.
I mean,
Get the fuck out of here, both
we're
of you.
mopeds in the night.
That's fine. You
Well,
can
you
be mopeds all you
Difference on
want.
the Mo. Last eliminating Santino Marella, and what a huge pop
What
Santino got.
dude,
when,
everyone thought Marella
and now
was
that
gonna
they
win.
do it every year, where it's like a fake out, but Santino, people were like, "Oh my God, Santino's going to do it."
Now, Alberto Del Rio, I think a lot of people thought was going to win the title here.
He probably
It was
should
his.
have.
It was his manifest destiny.
100%. Now, I feel like Alberto was really pushed from the beginning, from the time he first.
He's going to be a
came in.
fairly big deal
fairly
early.
quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've talked about that on the podcast before. My first impressions of Alberto. I did not remember that he had Brodus Clay with him at the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, Brodus Clay was his rookie on NXT, the TV show, not the.
oh, that
And
makes
hence
sense.
Alex Riley was
And
the
Edge
Mrs.
had
rookie.
Christian with him outside the
Yeah,
ring.
that was
as
his
well.
His
rookie.
rookie
Yeah,
too, Christian.
I was like, oh man.
He tussled Christian's hair after.
That was his young boy. He's like, kid, let's go.
Christian's like, hey guys, I got some crowbars over here.
What I've never understood is if you're going to the ring with somebody, why do you put on your wrestling gear?
Why would Jerry Lawler wear his wrestling gear for fucking 20 years at
well,
Monday Night Raw?
If I'm just going to the ring, I'm going to go out there in my
Jeans,
shorts
yeah.
and tank top.
I had just rewatched. It was it was right before the Invasion pay-per-view, so it was like Lance Storm. He was one of the first guys to show up.
Yeah.
And it was in Calgary, and he showed up in his
Alberta,
full gear.
Canada.
In his full gear to do a quick run into the crowd and attack.
Who's this wrestler in the crowd just hanging out?
Yeah,
What is
like,
he gonna? Is he gonna
whoa.
do something later on?
He was hoping one of those fans would challenge for their replica titles. Credit
Hey.
CPA.
Thank you. Stop stealing his stuff.
I'm not stealing it.
Another
well-
fun fact about this WrestleMania: Josh Matthews called it WrestleMania.
You know what? I fucking missed Josh. I liked his commentary, and I missed him.
Hey,
I forgot.
faggot.
I can't believe my. Do you think that was supposed to be a DM or something?
I don't know.
I think that was it. So that was really a different time. Like
It was
today,
2011.
That's the
It
thing.
was still a different time.
Here's the thing.
No!
I was watching Bill and Ted's Bogus
2006
Adventure
I could
last night,
accept.
and they called them fags a bunch of
They
times.
did.
So there
But that
really
was also the 80s, Dan.
that was,
Yeah, that was the
2011.
that was 1990, JC.
88 and 90. Calm
But
down.
still, I mean, even back then at that time, like you could still like today, you can't get away saying that.
Well, that's
but I
why
feel
I'm
like
surprised-
then you could.
Well,
Back
you
then
can
it-
get away with it on three-way theater.
Yeah, we just said it
apparently.
5 times.
well, we can say that because we're just a
Where
bunch of
it's
fags.
parody. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, parody.
Yeah.
This match goes right into a heat, which seemed to be a pattern throughout the night. Also, Edge did a somersault plancha in this match, which I thought was interesting because in his debut match, he almost killed one of the Los Barriquas with a somersault
Broke
plancha.
his neck.
Was it Strada?
It might have been Estrada, yeah.
That was a huge spot at that time because Edge is a huge guy.
Yeah.
And for him to do the plancha, at like it was like 98, 90, like that, around then, that wasn't done. That was you know.
yeah, it was innovative for a
Yeah.
big guy.
Now we also forgot to mention that when Del Rio's entrance, he drove a car onto the ramp.
So I had
A
a note
Rolls
about
Royce.
this. Why would someone of Alberto Del Rio's stature drive himself?
Especially in a Rolls Royce, a
You would-
traditionally
He has
chauffeured
Ricardo
car.
Rodriguez. Why? I know he's the announcer, but wouldn't it make more sense for him to have?
I wish Brodus Clay just pushed him in on the car.
he just rode Brodus Clay in a saddle.
He did a Fred Flintstone mobile and just had his feet sticking through
Yeah.
the bottom of the car.
Exactly.
Dabba.
Jake, you mentioned how the way the match was dominated. One of the other themes of the evening that I noticed was heel Michael Cole taking away everything
fuck,
from the show.
man.
That was. I forgot how annoying the Raw GM was, and how awful Michael Cole was. Like
As
I
a
don't-
heel?
I don't not like heel announcers, but he does it in a way that just like you said
So
takes away from
it was
everything.
overbearing. It was he was being a certain way on purpose.
If you've ever seen him when it was
NXT?
NXT the women's edition,
it was
Oh my god!
Wow.
I remember that he was.
It was a different time.
He had a gong. He would bang a gong when he was over something.
Did he have the blonde highlight tips at this time, or is
No,
that was way
That
before.
was that little.
He should have
go-to.
really
Way
brought
before.
back the
That was
blonde highlight
babyface.
tips.
we can't forget about the coal mine. Well, I mean, we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll
We'll
get there.
but in these matches that he's commentating on, I couldn't focus because he was just going.
Him and
off.
Lawler are just like they're jabbing each other. It's like they can't do their job.
Yeah,
It just
and he was in that box the whole night.
Yeah,
which
the
I-
coal
I have
mine.
a-
The
I
coal
have a-
mine.
I have a thing about that box later on that really pissed me off. But
All right.
In this match, Edge was diagnosed the next night. He got an MRI the next night or whatever. I have a theory that Edge already knew. He had a look on his face. He had an expression. I feel like he knew that was it for him.
I mean, I can't imagine him not knowing that maybe his career was winding down. Maybe he knew something was wrong. Maybe he didn't know how serious it was.
No, I agree with Jake. I think there's something about the way he came out for the match, having Christian out there with him. There was something.
It was a good
about
end
it.
cap because that was
when he
was
came
his
out and
last
when he
tele-
left,
overall,
he just had a look on his face.
It was a very safe match. He worked the arm the whole match. I know Edge did that planche and stuff like that, but it was a very.
And then
You know
other
what I
than
mean? It was a very match that wasn't. You could tell
it wasn't bump heavy.
No, it was
the biggest
not.
thing Edge took was the top rope arm drag.
That was actually good. Yeah, that was my spot of the match.
But
That's my spot too, actually.
my spot is the tease of the spear with Brodus Clay.
She. That was on the back of his shirt. It says just at SHEEE.
Oh, it's SH. It's she.
She.
I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
I would think CHEA.
Nope.
Shay. This spear, because you brought it up, I hate Edge using the spear.
Why?
Because he's so tall?
He's just tall and lanky. If someone's using the spear, I want them to be like a linebacker.
A big guy, like a Rhino.
Like exactly. Like when Rhino or Goldberg, I think are perfect.
Okay. I can't.
You know what I mean? The squat. Rhino's a brick house. You know, Edge is like 6. He's a big guy, but he's not.
Yeah, he doesn't have the width.
He's quick.
He doesn't have the width about him.
He's the Edge.
He's so cool.
Remember he was the Edge?
What was your spot, Jake?
I liked the O'Connor roll countered into the armbar. I thought that was cool, but my favorite spot was probably the top rope and Zaguri, and he put his foot on the ropes and Ricardo went over and knocked it off, and Edge had to kick out still. I like that.
Okay.
But although Edge had to position himself like into being next to the rope, so that took away from it.
This crowd was into this entire match.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Edge hit the spear for the 3 count. JC, how long did that match feel to you?
I'm going to be generous just based on later matches. I'm going to say it was about 13:30.
It was 11:09.
All right, so I overshot it a bit.
And then we get a little post-match car destruction.
I mean, you got to do it at Mania, brother.
Vince loves messing up cars.
Loves it. Now, do you think they just rented that car from some guy and then just destroyed it?
They
and
do.
Then asked for permission?
It was actually DDP's car.
Damn it, I gotta stop bringing these
You
here.
can't just destroy someone's property like that and then be like, oh, sorry, here's
We'll
a
pay
few
for
extra
it.
$1,000.
I think
That's
have.
$100,000 car.
I believe that's what Bruce
Still
Pritchard said on
cheaper.
something.
They had to have just bought it.
You
And then
need
did
to.
not buy-
I'm
they
sure.
rent- they-
even if you do, I'm sorry, JC.
No, go ahead.
I'm sure that guy got paid. You know what I mean?
Oh, he got
Of course,
paid.
but
more
is it
than the
worth
car
your-
is worth. If I give
It's
you my
easier
Rolls
for them
Royce-
to go to a collector and find somebody that has the vehicles that they want than to
Borrow
go
it.
out and buy a car.
You think the word would get around? Like, don't talk to those WWE
Well, it
guys.
doesn't happen all the time. Doesn't happen all the time.
They're gonna screw you.
More often than not.
Go to the
car
Briscoe
doesn't get-
Brothers body shop.
Yeah. Next up, we get Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes.
It's actually Captain
One quick
Mysterio.
thing, I like Pat Patterson's body shop a lot better.
Yeah, he does great
Is that
rear
in
end
Rio
work.
de Janeiro?
He does a lot of good real work.
Fucking
Mysterio's dressed as Captain America here.
As I said, Captain Mysterio.
I don't get it.
Sons of bitches.
I was
Surprised?
surprised to see this version of Cody Rhodes. I had actually kind of almost forgot about it in my head,
Yeah.
and then when the music hit and because he was disfigured and
Yeah, that was- I
this
love
was a
that
good
angle.
storyline.
It brought back the whole dashing. I had forgotten. He was always Cody Rhodes never stood out to me in the WWE. He was always good and fine, but he was. You know what I mean? He just never.
Cody's one of those guys that has always tried. There's
very hard at everything that they've given him.
Like there was always unfortunately there was always going to be a ceiling to him in WWE, but he always put a ton of effort in every gimmick that he did.
Well, I
Whether he
think
liked it or not, whether it be Stardust or Dastardly
Right.
or Dashing.
He did
he
things
always
well.
put 110%. But here's the thing: I think he went from the beginning. He wasn't the chosen one. It was Ted DiBiase in the group with Orton. Like DiBiase was supposed to be the guy, and I just think he was never seen as that.
I agree with you. I think and I think it's a shame because I think this
work
match
is great.
Yeah. I also thought that this WrestleMania was Big Show and Cody Rhodes, so I was completely
Did
thrown
that
off.
happen?
It was what
That
Cody
happened.
Rhodes?
Big Show
Big
versus
Show
Cody
and Cody
Rhodes.
Rhodes
At a WrestleMania?
That happened
happened?
at a WrestleMania. Well, I'll tell you what. I never knew that this was a WrestleMania. I mean, I'm like, this is a WrestleMania.
Well,
match?
this is Rey Mysterio turned him into Dastardly Cody Rhodes
Right.
by breaking his nose with his knee brace, and that knee brace is a fucking hazard. There's been a lot of people hurt by that knee brace.
I think it was legit.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah. So
Almost
you know what I
assuredly.
mean?
So he broke Cody Rhodes' nose with the knee pad.
619.
Just hit him with a 619.
Food. Oh, okay, that's fine. Thanks.
Thanks for the update.
Nerdlinger.
And then so where were,
So he broke his nose. It was
Yes.
this back in like December. Or Wait,
Wait, what did Michael Cole call?
hold for edit?
So Cody blasts Ray with the knee brace. That set up this whole thing.
This was a great match. I thought it was pretty damn good.
I thought all the matches on the show were at least decent. None of them were super exciting to me. I thought this again was a good match, but it didn't seem
Okay, this match probably didn't feel Mania-like.
This match seemed like it should have probably been the opener.
Yes, agreed.
But I feel like they wanted to bookend it with the title matches or whatever.
Which is stupid.
good.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But I mean, I loved the crowd being so into Rhodes. I loved.
Let's go Cody chants.
Like, it was really cool. I thought I 100% agree, Jake. It should have been the opener.
And I like the dynamic of the match where it was Ray going after the mask, Cody going after the knee. I thought
And
that
Cody used that as a weapon in the match a few times.
did, yeah.
He went for headbutts, and I agree.
and then I liked Ray getting the hold of the mask. That was
and
smart.
Ray putting the mask on and then just headbutting the fuck out of him.
Yeah, that's
That's my favorite spot right there.
I thought that's what stood out the most for me.
Yeah.
was the,
My spot was the top rope superplex.
Oh, the stalling.
yeah,
superplex.
the Joseph Stalin superplex.
There was another nice spot. I believe Ray went for a Hurricane Rana or head scissors, and Rhodes caught it,
Yeah.
put him back on the ropes, and turned it into an Alabama Slam, actually.
Yeah, he gave him the Bob Holly low blow and Alabama Slam.
Yep.
So that was like the tribute to Bob Holly because they were old partners.
That's actually my note. Is that my favorite thing about Cody Rhodes is that he adapts his moveset to his former partners and rivals, and that's something that he's done along the way for all of his stuff.
Now, the head scissors spot you were talking about, it led to a spot outside the ring where Ray gave him a head scissors and he threw him into the apron, and it looked like he was going to give him a 619 on the apron,
Yes.
but he didn't end up going. I feel like the crowd was like popping for that because they thought that was coming, but they didn't end up going with it.
Mikey, what was your spot?
Mine was the headbutts when
Ray
Ray
that's right.
puts
You
the
just headbutt the shit out of him.
yeah Ray
That
puts
was a
the
good
fucking,
payoff to the whole thing. I like that.
crowd not so much. I mean I think
They
because
wanted Cody.
I think because they wanted Cody, it wasn't the reaction you would be looking for.
I didn't think Cody got a good reaction when he came out.
Not
When he first came out,
When he
no.
came out, I noticed that it was very quiet. Ray, I thought, got a good reaction.
I think the
I
music
feel like his music,
is a detriment.
it would take a. It was
There was
Yeah.
a part in this match where actually, and again, I think it's something to do. The audio was turned down real low for the commentator to the point where you couldn't hear what they were saying.
They should have turned it down a little lower.
But I wonder if there was just a technical glitch.
Maybe. That could have been it.
But it was really low.
I liked Cody doing like the misdirection with the mask, referee taking it out, and then blasting Ray with a knee brace. I thought
was
that
a
was
great
smart.
finish.
That was
Yep.
really good.
I like I thought this was a great match.
And then the
cross.
Crossroads gets the win. JC Ellen, that match feel to you?
That was, I'd say it's probably like an 8-minute match.
No,
Was,
much longer.
How do you think?
I was going to say 12.
It's 11:58.
Whoa. Dan Terry's taking my spot.
I always hit my times.
We get our first big backstage skit of the evening. The rap auditions with Snoop Dogg and Dogg.
You guys like American Idol?
Who
American Idol?
This was interesting.
Who was your favorite of the performers?
I
Who was
don't
your
remember
favorite?
this spot. I must have.
It was William Regal rapping,
Okay.
Great Khali and Beth Phoenix singing Summer Lovin',
I love Beth Phoenix.
Zack Ryder singing Friday, and then Roddy Piper came up behind him and hit him with a coconut.
I-
Chris Masters and Yoshitatsu singing We Will Rock You, and then Hornswoggle rapping.
Well, this was
With the Bellas.
well. You gotta.
No, that would imply that Bella said anything.
Well, I mean,
You know, these legendary divas, who would have thought they did this backstage segment and they were almost props, and now they're legends.
Legends.
And treated like the fucking Trishes and like Litas, like yeah, they've been there.
Who would have thought that guy with the weird tassels and funny hair would go on to become The Rock either?
So,
now Hornswoggle here previously did not speak.
and that was the entire point of the
That was
segment,
and of course they're doing this because they're auditioning to be in Snoop Dogg's new tour.
Yes.
That's going on.
Yo,
Did this
check.
lead to anything?
No.
No.
It's Horn Swizzle, a.k.a. you little brizzle. Rhyme so tight, I am the main mizzle. Divas all around, leprechauns ain't clowns. No, but they know how to get down.
You did it a lot better than Hornswoggle.
I was going to say, did he rap? I don't remember this segment, but how?
Dan skipped over this segment.
I was trying to dance around that. But yeah.
You should have been dancing around to Hornswoggle rapping.
My favorite was Khali and Beth doing
Summer
Grease.
Lovin'?
Yeah.
Because he didn't even know the words. He tried.
Yeah, she was like,
He
then
actually
Beth-
did know the words, just couldn't understand them.
now you sing the girl part.
Summer loving.
Tell me more, tell me more.
The thing I hate most about all these segments is the multiple camera angles. Of
Yeah.
like,
Like
then,
they shoot it like a movie, you mean?
first person
Yeah.
perspective.
Like Kevin Steen turning around and getting a pie to the face.
Right.
Like,
Or the Rock Mankind,
yeah, the forklift.
My favorite is Piper hitting
I like-
the coconut only because of Snoop Dogg's reaction. He's like, "My man, Roddy Piper."
I love Zack Ryder singing Friday because Friday had like just came out, so it was like a hot thing.
It was pretty hot.
And Zack Ryder was being all viral too. So
Yeah,
When Roddy Piper shook, when he was like, "My man," Roddy Piper's like, "You know, I never painted half my body black, right?" Never, my man, Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
my favorite was probably William Regal doing his little rap about being. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a villain," and
I guess if there's a way to get, I mean, this is just like those revolving door promos where you get everybody on there paid.
They really should have had Jason Rumble come and rap. If you guys ever heard that?
I've never heard it.
Oh my god.
We'll have to get him on the show.
And speaking of paid, the next match is the Core taking on the Big Show: Santino Marella, Kofi Kingston, and Kane.
I completely forgot the Core existed.
I mean, the CORRE core.
What did it stand for something?
Well, Lumberjake will tell you a great story.
Well, you see, on SmackDown they announced that they were the Core with an extra R because at the copyright office, Heath Slater misspelled it with 2 R's.
And he's got kids.
Not yet.
Why would he be going to the trademark office?
Why are you sitting? Heath Slater.
It sounds like a Three Stooges. All right, Chowderhead, you go down to the copyright
Like
office.
they should have a department or a guy for that.
Yeah,
And
just some. There's
This is a
like
low
legal
point.
teams. Like WWE should already have it.
So what? If you know what led to the Cores? Because I remember.
Well, they had enough.
No, but I remember the what were they? The
Nexus.
Oh, no, I
The,
need
the
to-
Nexus.
How about the new Nexus?
The
I
Nexus-
remember
I'm not
Punk
changing
taking
my
over
vote.
New Nexus.
Mikey's changed his vote.
No, I
Mike Pava.
I'm not changing my vote. I
he spelled Core with 1 R.
But I mean, I forgot how did they form? What was their reason for forming? I
They
totally
split,
forgot.
the Nexus split up, and then they created the new Nexus.
Didn't half of them go with Punk and like
So,
half
yeah.
of them-
Correct.
The new Nexus, I know Punk, because they did the whole thing where they kept doing like they're going to pay off to who made the Nexus, and then Vince McMahon said it was him.
Yeah, that never
And
happened,
then
yeah.
they said, no, it wasn't you, and they beat him up, and then it just kind of...
Yeah, there was
went
never
down.
a real payoff to that, but basically, Wade Barrett's crew went to SmackDown. They split up, and
the new Nexus had one of my favorite moments. The big moment of that was after NXT won. After the first NXT, they did the Raw takeover, right, where they all beat up John Cena and
which
stuff.
was awesome.
The season 2 finale of NXT.
I remember. Oh my God!
They tried to do something similar with a big brawl, but nobody knew what they were doing, and nobody knew who they were going after.
we should
So,
do an episode of NXT.
That was awesome.
like the TV show.
Yes.
oh
I'm down with
boy.
that.
Oh boy.
On our Patreon.
So,
Kofi
Kofi Kingston was added to this match at the last minute.
Vladimir Kozlov was supposed to be in this, but he was taken out at Access by the Core.
What the core?
Core.
Kozlov was a babyface.
Sure was. He was him and
Dancing
Santino.
Kozlov.
Oh my
after,
god!
So I think it was after he failed. Like he was with Triple H. Was it? Who was he working? Who was he in a feud with?
Oh, there was
Undertaker?
an awful match with
Triple H. It was a main event, wasn't
Survivor
it?
Series.
It was going to be a triple threat match. Triple H, Vladimir Kozlov, and Jeff Hardy. But Jeff Hardy was found knocked out at his hotel room. And then Vicky Guerrero comes out and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen,
He's here!
He's here!
He's
He's here!"
here!"
And then an Edge announced.
That's right.
Boom.
It was just such a Kozlov was one of those guys who had the amazing. He looked like what they wanted at the time. Was this around the time when they wouldn't hire anyone who wasn't 6'4", 250?
Yeah,
there was a
it
thing
was-
for a bit.
Yeah.
and it
Well,
looked.
look, you got him. You got fucking Ezekiel Jackson. You got just.
Oh, Big Zeke! But did he go on to become? Was he?
He was
Big
ECW.
Rick?
He was Big Z.
He was the final ECW champion.
Who was Big Rick in Lucha?
Big Rick
Underground?
Fuller?
No,
I don't know.
Was that Big Zeke? Because
It may have
It
been.
may
My
have
favorite
been.
Ezekiel
I never
Jackson
watched
moment
Lucha Underground.
was when he was in a backstage segment with the Brian Kendrick, and Brian Kendrick's talking, reading some war book, you know what I mean? The Art of War, and Zeke's in the background reading Green Eggs and Ham. So they don't even mention it. He's just
amazing.
looking at it.
Well, him and Brian Kendrick were together in WWE.
He was his bodyguard. Yeah.
Yes.
Is
Brian Kendrick.
Heath Slater the only one of the Nexus to survive?
Yes.
Yeah.
To
He's
this
the only
day.
one still here.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
Car accident.
So, fun fact about this match:
Is there?
Same car.
the entrances went 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Oh,
That'll
so
be
you're gonna-
important later.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
remember
match
that,
could not
JC.
have gone that long.
Well,
Remember that.
I mean, we're talking more about this match than was actually the match.
Santino jumps into the ring with throwing kicks and shit, and then Slater just punches him in the face.
I did also notice, just overall, all the SmackDown matches were first.
Yep.
They did the World Heavyweight title match. They did Cody Cody versus Ray. Then they did this match.
one.
Like, let's get all the SmackDown matches out here.
Yeah, fuck those
first.
guys. No one watches that Thursday show. Was it Wednesday or Friday at the time?
It was Friday at the time.
Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, no one knows when it was on.
What were you guys' favorite spot of the match?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
The whole thing.
I'm a sucker for the Cobra.
Cobra to punch.
Yeah.
Cobra to punch.
I didn't really have one just because the match. I mean, Big Show punching someone.
It was the combo.
Yeah, the Cobra into the punch. My favorite spot of the match was that during the spot where everybody was getting in, hitting people, Justin Gabriel did not get to hit anyone. He jumped into the ring and got throat thrusted, so he didn't even get the satisfaction of bumping someone.
Kane just bopped him.
Yep, just nope.
I mean, I guess if you got to do if you have to do something like this.
I thought they caught the Cobra at the Bronx Zoo.
It was such this was definitely a match that they just wanted to have something in between. You know what I mean?
It was like
like you said earlier, they wanted to get everyone on the show.
Yeah.
They said
Paid.
You got 3 minutes. We like you guys. I mean, I think this was more to get
It
Big Show.
definitely wasn't 3 minutes.
I think they just want to get Big Show and Kane on there. I think that was the whole point.
And
of
this was
match.
the epitome of a smiling babyface Big Show. Just I'm doing a visual thing on that.
Can I predict the match length?
Sure. Well, how long did that feel to you, JC?
1 minute and 45 seconds.
That's one.
2:45.
That's 1 minute and 32 seconds.
Oh,
Take that, Dan Terry.
I go over my match.
So
time
once
sometimes.
again, 132, and the entrances was 326.
So what are we looking at? What is the total amount of wrestling time right now? I know that might
Wrestling time or
So I know you
well,
talked
when
about
we reveal at the end how long
Yeah.
non-wrestling
don't spoil
time
that
is.
because that'll give
Yeah,
away.
we'll know. We can deduct by subtraction, I believe.
yes.
So
So next up, we get another
you
promo.
sounded like Charlie from
Oh,
Always Sunny.
I've heard that before.
paperwork killing
Bird
rats.
Law.
what was the promo, Lumberjake?
The next promo we got was The Rock and Eve Torres.
Ooh.
Divas champion.
Yes, Eve's the Divas champion, but you'd never know it.
Congrats on being women's champion. Here's your reward. Feel my bicep. Congrats.
That's another segment that today would
Never fly.
kill people.
Well, especially when you've got Mae Young showing up.
The Divasaurus.
Alexa Bliss took her shirt off. Oh my god.
Her shoulders.
Well, you see, the Rock had said that he was going to create a memorable moment to the
Uh-huh.
next person that walked around the corner.
And then Mae Young.
Mae
And
Young.
and when she said,
You're going down. You're going down.
she was Ahmed Johnson.
Yes. May, how much longer did May live after this?
She just
Couple of
died
years,
a couple
yeah.
years
Yeah,
ago.
she's
didn't
not
she?
long has she been.
No, wasn't that.
No, that was the.
That was Moolah.
Yeah, because they had to change the. Was it the Mae Young Classic?
Well,
they had to
Well,
change.
Mae Young
No.
Classic is still the Mae Young
Fabulous
Classic.
Moolah.
The Fabulous
Okay.
Moolah Battle Royal.
Okay, one of the two.
Mae Young
Died
said,
January 14th, 2014.
so yeah,
Right? She didn't even see the WWE Network.
Aw.
But she saw the commercial.
But she also
She was waiting. She stayed alive just for it.
she also said she'd never get old.
Incorrect. She was always old.
Yeah.
Like, you are already there, lady.
She was born asking to see the manager.
Mae Young's a badass. I don't care what anybody says. She also said she wants the people's strudel.
Yeah, she does.
She did.
No, people strudel, huh?
Yeah.
Ross had to repeat everything she said so everyone knew what she was saying.
Yes.
Rough-
That woman gave birth to a hand. Respect that.
Why
woman.
wasn't the hand fully white?
Well,
right? It was Mark.
yeah.
Well, do you know the
It
joke
wasn't a
between
real hand.
The joke.
Wait,
with
what?
That, the joke with that, you see, was that the original sex toys back in the day were shaped like hands.
Yes.
So the joke was she lost the very first sex toy.
Mae
and it just
Young,
came out
Mae
now.
Young liked to get fisted.
Except
Well, who doesn't?
that hand grew up and appeared on a later episode of Monday Night Raw.
I mean, yeah, don't your hands grow up?
Mark
Not
Henry.
mine.
Mark
Your
Henry
little
should
piggies
have
don't
had a
grow up?
paternity test.
I know. I don't believe that was
A cool thing about Eve Torres now, she's like a 15th degree black belt in
In jiu-jitsu, isn't
She's
she?
married to
Married
one
to
of the
a Gracie,
Gracie.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like a badass.
So this is okay. Go ahead.
No.
This is a lead. This
Right,
is just to
yes.
get to the confrontation which we have. Or I mean, we can't even call it that. The stare down
Between Stone Cold
Stone
and The
Cold
Rock.
and The Rock, baby.
I argue this. Could we have done without Eve Torres, without Mae Young,
Oh, and just go right to that.
to that awesome moment?
Well, you need that build, bro.
Yeah,
Because
maybe-
they didn't build well.
Maybe
built.
Maybe just have The Rock in the back going, man, I create moments all the time. And
You know,
like, you don't need Eve Torres, you don't need Mae
Or
Young.
maybe have him host the show. Say, "Oh, what a great match! We got something coming up next. Hey, Anna Gas Tire's coming up next." You know,
Hey, you
So-
guys, that core match was really written in the stars.
WrestleMania went through this weird phase where they had to have every single legend ever.
Yep.
In a backstage segment. And I think that's what I mean. Again, it's also a thing where you want to get every person on the roster on. It's such a big thing. They just want to have everybody involved.
I also just think that's just a part of WrestleMania.
No,
you know,
I just the segment just that did not work. I mean, the little Austin Rock moment was cool.
Yeah.
But like they even didn't really do anything with that.
They shook hands.
Did Austin do anything else on the show? He was with the Cole.
He was the special guest referee.
Yeah, for the match that you didn't see.
Wait, what do you mean?
On the show that we have to watch matches.
We're gonna get there.
I guess you can decide which one was. If you write down that Cole and Lawler was the worst match,
You're a liar.
The Cole Lawler match is actually the Dan Terry needs to wear this mask in the Battle Royal.
I'm going to say if anyone wrote down Cole Lawler, they're a liar.
All right.
Well, listen, we're going to get there. Let's get to the next match.
Okay, CM Punk versus Randall K. Orton.
So this is where I disagree, Dan. This is definitely a Mania match to me. This felt like a Mania match.
I thought this was definitely a good match. I've never been a huge CM Punk fan, but I thought this was. So we'll talk about the ending that I really liked, but I thought
about it.
Well, we start off with TWT All-Star Alex Riley, by the way.
A-Rai.
Yeah, from
Steel
Glow.
Horse.
Steel
Was
Horse.
he Money in the Bank champion at the time? Because he had that
No.
briefcase. What was the briefcase that he had?
Miz won Money in the Bank,
Okay.
and he had his Money in the Bank briefcase and continued to carry it even after winning the WWE Championship from Randy.
He should have cashed it on himself.
This fucking feud went... started 2 years prior.
No, that was them retroactively.
retconning?
Yeah,
You knew it was old because in the back you see Manu hanging out.
Hey guys, remember me? It's Manu.
Showcase superstar Manu.
Manu.
So you were saying you don't think that they had the plan for this 2 years later the whole time?
Absolutely not.
JC, are you going to look me in the eye and tell me?
Yes.
Oh, you are.
Yes.
Right in the eye.
Right in there.
So
This was a match.
So Punk really, I'd say that the core ended up being better than
Nexus?
the new Nexus.
Oh, the new Nexus.
Oh, yeah.
Because the new Nexus also got eliminated week to week leading up to this show.
This was actually him getting punted. Husky Harris would not come back until 2014 as Bray Wyatt.
He made it just in time for the WWE Network.
What was Ryback's name? He was like a
Skip Sheffield. Skip.
Yep.
It was such a.
Yep.
That's such a.
Titus O'Neil. Was he on that
He
season?
was
No,
in
it
the
was
next season.
Who was the other guy? The boxer guy who was scary.
Michael Tarver?
Michael Tarver.
8.9 seconds.
LPW superstar Michael Tarver.
And then there was Justin Gabriel.
Of course.
And
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett.
Heath Slater.
David Otunga.
He's like Otungs.
This is who's going to work for
Darren
a ham
Young.
sandwich when we bring him
Darren
in.
Young.
Darren Young was in
Oh.
there. Daniel Bryan.
D-Bry.
For only
the
that first time
biggest
before he got fired.
Yeah, for choking out
Justin Roberts.
Justin Roberts.
And also the bigger picture. That's just what Wade Barrett used to always say.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
there was always a bigger picture.
It just bothers me that there was never a payoff to the whole Nexus.
How about when the Nexus beat up and buried
did it-
Undertaker alive?
Yep, they helped CM Punk win. Was it the title match?
But then they built them up to this huge thing only for them to be
Defeated and
For
and
nothing.
looked like
You know what I mean?
schmuck.
Like-
Listen,
Randy Orton had to go through all of them in order to.
I stand by the fact that Wade Barrett should have won the WWE title.
100%.
they should have given them. I think they
At
legit
TLC
should
or
have given
whatever?
them.
Yeah, whatever one where
everything.
he got the match with Cena.
and
Well,
then
they-
Cena
they-
pulled down. Put a
They
big
start so big
conspicuous
and then
thing over him.
they don't have any actual plans after it happens.
They
Like,
should have given them the tag team titles. Said Freebird rule. You guys
Yes.
can.
They did do that.
Did they? Okay. Well, fuck me then.
I don't.
Yeah, but like the new Nexus had Michael McGillicuddy, classic.
Such a great
Mason
name.
Ryan.
Mason
Oh
Ryan.
my
Yeah.
God.
McGillicuddy's not a money name.
Unless you're Beulah.
Yes. I love Beulah.
So this match wasn't like super. It didn't have a WrestleMania.
This reminded me a lot of the Mysterio and Cody Rhodes match in the fact that he stayed on Orton's leg to take away the punt.
Yep.
It's good psychology.
Oh, yeah.
But this feels just like every other Randy Orton. Like Randy Orton.
it's a Randy Orton match.
It's very methodical, and if
And
you
that's-
have an opponent that can work around that or to bring Orton up his game, you're going to get a good.
Randy Orton's methodical, and Triple H Undertaker said, "Hold my beer."
Oh, we can talk about that.
Oh.
Randy Orton, I mean, he works very slow. style. I guess it's because he's the Viper, and he
Sure.
wants to.
Now, don't Vipers tend to move quickly?
It's
Yes.
funny you say that because that was my favorite part of the match, which was the ending of it. Can we go on into this part now?
Yeah, let's do spots.
My favorite part of this match was CM Punk had done something and Randy Orton's on the ground. Punk goes to grab Orton. And just Orton jumps up out of nowhere to try to hit the RKO.
Out of nowhere.
Orton's leg went out after the punt.
So
Right.
he
And then
ran-
Punk.
Which, by the way, they had did that same exact spot a week before on SmackDown.
yeah, I just
Same
liked how
spot.
No one
he,
watched
he went to
SmackDown.
he went to give him the punt and his leg gave out on him. I feel like Punk forgot the spot because he got up, walked over to him, and Randy popped up and tried to give him an RKO. And then he pushed him off, and Randy was on the
And then
ground.
he was like, "Oh yeah, this is what
And
I'm
then he went
supposed
over
to
for
do."
the springboard.
No, it
and
was
when-
totally
Yes.
no. That was totally planned because what it was is. Randy Orton, he can pop that RKO out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
but
He goes to, but CM Punk telegraphed it, and he rolled away.
Yeah, I
to
saw that.
avoid getting RKO'd.
I saw
he
that-
saw the RKO coming, and he fell back.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit my big
And that-
clothesline gimmick."
that
I'm gonna,
Exactly.
Incorrect. He said, "I'm going to hit my big diving head right towards Randy fucking Orton." Gimmick.
Hey, that's just pro
it's the
wrestling.
diving-
I'm not gonna hold that against.
Listen,
No,
if
I hate
we've
that.
all done the diving nothing.
I have never dived in
You should
my
do
life.
it. Into
Well-
you should do it into a pool, an empty one.
That's a good
That's
one.
not bad.
Hey, DC Dillinger, that's a really good.
Wow.
What is going on?
Fight me
here?
in a forest.
Hey, why don't you go haunt the house?
The RKO fake out is my spot of the match.
That was my spot of the match. Yep.
My spot of the match is when CM Punk jumped over the ring steps and kicked him into Randy Orton's knee.
was
I
cool.
thought
That was cool.
I thought that was clever.
Yeah. I
Mikey?
just like that they went back to the psychology of he's working his leg.
Sure.
Yeah. Orton goes to I thought that I liked that. That's a very Randy Orton thing to me. Randy Orton's a guy who seems very smart about wrestling.
Yes.
because he's I forgot too how long he's been around.
Yeah.
He's been since what 2002.
2003,
Yeah, so
yeah.
figure 17, 18 years. He's taking little breaks here and there, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's been.
It's paid off for him.
Oh, sure.
He was bred as this
he's-
guy
Do you think he'll? Did you see the rumors? They're saying that he was thinking about
the scuttlebutt.
leaving.
AEW.
No fucking
brother?
way.
No,
No way.
he's- no.
He's set for fucking life.
You heard it here first, guys. When he jumped,
The
ship.
amount of shots they give at him, just like he's got like 17 wellness
He's
strikes and just
well,
like
yeah.
19
But
suspensions.
they changed the rules, so those are all falling off.
yeah, for
I
him.
hope-
Good for him.
I hope that Orton and everyone else better than me signs with AEW, so then I become a star.
Oh, smart.
Smart play.
And then I still don't get signed by AEW.
Yeah, me and Dan are just running the indies.
Mikey, did you have a
Lumberjake.
spot of that?
My
match?
favorite spot was the finish, even though it was telegraphed. The RKO out of nowhere was such a thing at that time, and still kind of is. There's memes about it
The
and all
best
that
one
shit.
is still Evan Bourne.
Oh no, that one's amazing. But I also loved the curb stomp.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
yes.
RKO.
Yeah, that was a neat one.
JC, how long that match feel to you?
This was like decently. They give this match good time.
18.
I'm gonna say 15.
When 1446.
Uh,
Next up, we get a backstage segment.
Woohoo!
We got Mean Gene Okerlund talking to The Rock.
and
My favorite appearance of the whole night.
Pee Wee
Pee Wee fucking Herman shows up.
leader of the Fruit Troop.
That was good.
he's not leader for long. He jumped ship.
He looks like a tool. I know you are, but what am I?
Pee Wee's a real fucking fair weather fan.
Well, I mean, the Rock's in your face. I think you gotta do the right thing. I mean,
Pee-wee's-
can you smell what the pea's cooking?
Pee Wee's also got a small twanger
A what? Oh.
or whatever.
A twanger.
What did he call it in the movie? No, and No Holds Barred. What did he call it?
Oh, you're still on the no holds
teeny
barred
weeny?
thing?
I watched No Holds Barred twice yesterday. So
Instead of watching WrestleMania 27, he just
watch
watched
this show, I want to watch No Holds
He
Barred
turned
twice.
off Cole and Lawler and was like, "I'm gonna put on No Holds Barred."
Were you watching it because you just got the network and it was on the network?
No, so I've been on vacation
wish.
this whole week. I went through all the Schwarzenegger movies on Hulu, and then
Where do you go from there?
No Holds Barred. I've noticed how in a No Holds Barred match, holds are never used.
It's true.
Yeah.
Good
And,
point. Good point.
The tagline for the movie was "No ref, no ropes, no rules." All three things were in that
Yes,
movie.
there was.
in
And
the
check
Tough
that out,
Man
episode
competition,
10.
The Battle
ref
of the
is
Tough Guys?
The ref's only there to check the ropes and the buckles. So.
Listen to our episode of a No Holds
Fuck,
Barred.
let's do it now.
On Spotify.
In
Ooh.
We go
in-
from one
in-
segment to another.
Yeah, next up we get the Hall of
Flawlessly.
Fame inductees.
I have one note. 2011 Hall of Fame class was a baller class.
Listen, Sonny looked amazing. You know who else looked amazing? Abdullah the Butcher.
Yep.
Abby.
Hepatitis would do that to you.
So this year, Shawn Michaels was inducted by Triple H.
Uh-huh.
Jim Duggan was inducted by Ted DiBiase.
Perfect.
Bullet Bob Armstrong inducted by Scott, Brad, and Brian Armstrong.
Get it.
Sonny inducted by all the WWE divas, mainly Lay Cool. Next up,
Layla.
Abdullah the Butcher was inducted by Terry Funk.
Amazing.
The Road Warriors were inducted by Dusty Rhodes, and Drew Carey was inducted by Kane.
Okay.
That's such a. I like the Drew Carey thing only because I remember watching that Rumble when Drew Carey.
Yes,
and
I love that.
I was a
love
huge
that.
Drew Carey show fan. I loved Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yep.
And I believe his appearance was to actually promote the pay-per-view.
Yeah, the
live
Improv All Stars.
So
if
you're gonna
Ryan
have
Styles
any-
was in the Rumble, I would have lost my mind. If Colin
You
Mockery's
Dietrich
the king of the
Bader
ring,
Yeah, if they got Wayne Brady choking a bitch in the
No,
Rumble.
give him a tag. Put him in a tag team.
yeah, and fucking have their music played by Laura Hall and Linda Taylor on the piano.
If you're gonna have Drew Carey in, the only one that can induct him is Kane. That makes the most sense.
100%.
I also love Drew Carey doing his namaste.
Namaste.
While getting booed out of the
Because
building.
he literally was getting booed out of
JC,
the
it's the
building.
celebrity wing of the Hall
But
of
he
Fame, where
was
the punts
really-
don't matter. And
I'm not criticizing him being inducted.
He was really one of the first, though.
Thank you,
He
Jake.
was, I think.
I love that.
I think he was the first of the celebrity wing of that
was
type
Pete
of like.
Rose in before him?
He may have been
Or
the
Bob
first.
Uecker or someone? If you don't put Bob Uecker or Pete Rose in before,
I don't think Bob
Bob Uecker
Uecker's
is
in.
not in the Hall
Yes,
of
he
Fame.
is.
Really?
Yes, he is.
I think
in?
I'm pretty
be
sure.
Pete Rose should have. I mean, there's a lot you could put in, but Pete Rose was. I mean, huge.
Pete Rose
at
was great because of the storyline.
Yeah,
it
the
told
continuation.
that he
Pete
wasn't
also
allowed.
inducted by Kane.
That also makes
Because
sense.
Pete Rose also didn't. I remember hearing the story. They were like, Pete, okay, we're gonna do this. He's like, I'll do whatever the hell you want if you pay me.
Yeah. Fucking next up, Dan Terry said next up was Triple H versus Undertaker. No, excuse me. It was actually Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole.
Now I gotta tell you guys,
What do you got to tell us?
Hot take.
the lead up to this fucking match
Amazing.
was great.
Agreed.
When he
Like-
fucking made fun of Jerry Lawler on Mother's Day right after his mom
died.
Holy shit.
This was also being built as like Lawler's WrestleMania moment because he
Yes.
never had one.
He brought Brian Christopher back to dance and fucking call Jerry Lawler an embarrassment, but he was so blown up he couldn't really like cut the promo because he had just danced his way out to the ring like Grandmaster Sexay.
Cut the promo.
Michael Cole cut a pretty great promo at the end of the show.
Here's
At the beginning of during his entrance, rather.
Here's the thing. This would have been so much more impactful if they just kept Lawler and Cole off the goddamn show before the match.
What, not sitting out at the ring and like hanging
Fighting.
out? And like at one point, Michael Cole was like, "Yeah, that's right, Jerry." And Jerry Lawler goes, "Don't call me Jerry." He's like, "Yeah, I almost let my guard down for a second."
That was one of my notes. I'm like, God damn it.
So, Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler are very similar. They're both overweight, overrated, and over the hill. This is Jerry Lawler's first WrestleMania. Jerry Lawler comes out dressed, I believe, from his like Memphis
It was-
gear.
yeah, it sure was.
It looked like his outfit from Man on the Moon. Honestly, when he comes out wearing,
It could have been
It was
recreated. It
awesome.
might have been actually his Man in the Moon stuff, and they because I don't think it's the original.
Well,
but
he's
it's
gonna have his
probably-
WrestleMania gear, brother.
Well, you see that gear? That gear from Man on the Moon. It actually ended up in Jim Carrey's hands.
Oh,
and Jim
really?
Carrey thought it was a gift from Jerry Lawler. And Jerry Lawler wanted that gear. And Jim Carrey wrote him a handwritten note saying, "Thank you so much for your outfit. I appreciate it so much. Here's a gift in return." And he gave him a huge
mask?
collection of vintage wrestling albums that were on vinyl, like Sweet Daddy Ezekiel, like old albums. And he gave him a huge collection. Jim Carrey's got a huge record collection. So every wrestling album he had, he gave to Jerry.
What is
Lawler
a
was
wrestling
like,
album?
pass.
Like, is that,
He was. I don't have a record player.
what is a wrestling? Just the
Singing.
Singing. Really?
Terry Funk put out an album. Sweet Daddy
Really?
Ezekiel, all
I
these
would
people,
love
yeah.
to hear the Terry Funk album.
Actually, if you go out to the concession stand right now, there is a Jesse Ventura album, a record.
Who's selling it?
The guy over in the corner over there. I don't know.
Yeah, that guy.
Free.
There's a one of the songs,
$20.
One of the songs Terry Funk sings is like "School Sucks."
Classic Terry Funk.
Classic
My
Terry-
horse is dying.
I can't make it. My horse is sick.
Swagger legitimately almost get ran over by Stone Cold when he was flying down
Yeah.
on his ATV.
Austin warns you, man. You got to get the fuck out of Dodge.
What? Why was Swagger there? What was?
He's the trainer
Of Michael
for
Cole.
Michael Cole.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch this match.
You sure didn't.
Oh
so
my-
you shut the
Yeah,
fuck
you
up.
can't say
I
a
thought we were
goddamn word.
talking about the Hall of Fame still.
No, we were talking about the classic.
Jerry Lawler and Austin in the ring. Michael Cole's stalling, and Austin goes, "Fuck it, ring the bell, go get him."
Austin, every referee should aspire to be like Steve Austin as the referee.
He didn't
in
have
this
he didn't
match.
have any shit pulled. And he, like, his distraction spot worked out great when he was looking at Michael Cole and Swagger cut off Lawler on the outside.
Yeah. I will send the build to this. You mentioned, Mikey, was amazing. There was one segment that died on a vine, though. I don't know if you remember it. It was the return of Brian Christopher.
I talked about that about 5 minutes ago.
No, you didn't.
When
He came in and danced.
I came in, he danced.
He
He
sure
was too
did.
blown up to cut the promo.
All right, that maybe happened. I might be a little messed up. I don't know.
Is he coming back?
I got a head injury.
We need a drink.
Yeah, like some lemonade.
Lemonade where the milk is made.
So I'm hot take. I really like this match.
That's definitely a hot take. I didn't hate it, but it was so. You got Austin in there. You got Swagger. You got eventually, the aftermath of the aftermatch.
So
like
there-
overbooked.
So
But I didn't hate
I
it.
loved it.
Son of a bitch.
I had the same reaction to this match that I had the year before. They don't know how to book these simple garbage blow-offs.
Now, do you think this match should have just been Jerry Lawler kicking the shit out of Michael Cole?
2 minutes long.
Yes.
Are you saying you don't think Michael Cole needed an extended heat on Jerry Lawler?
Correct.
Oh, the ankle
The
lock.
Ank Cole lock.
Yeah.
But I mean, I obviously
You-
didn't
you
watch
didn't see it.
But
So what I was saying the year
Just-
before, do you remember the match from the year before?
what was the match?
It was Vince McMahon versus Bret Hart.
It sure was.
Oh,
with the
and Vince-
entire Hart family.
Yes.
That
And
was
there was
too
a
long.
prolonged 7.5-minute beatdown of each Hart member getting to the ring and beating up Vince McMahon.
Yes.
Except for DH and Tyson Kidd, who gave them the heart attack on the floor.
Right.
Oh,
But I was watching this
Vince.
again, and this was the thing. Like, they used to... Okay, think about WrestleMania 7. And think about how
think of
perfect
it.
Shane versus Vince was.
This was 10 years later.
And they have just lost their ability to kind of just book a perfect little garbage match. Like, it should have been...
Just to give Dan
Lawler-
Terry an idea, JC, how long did this match feel to you?
17 minutes.
This match
no
was 13:45.
way. So a match like you got Lawler, Lawler can still work a match without a
Sure.
doubt.
He can go, but he can't pull anything
Yeah,
out
In
of
fact,
Cole.
but
he
he's
had just
working with-
wrestled The Miz
He's
at the pay-per-view
working.
before.
He's working with a guy who doesn't wrestle.
In a title match,
This
right?
legit-
Ladder match?
Yeah, TLC.
This should have been, like you said, 3 minutes long. It should have been Lawler, giving him his few punches. Lawler goes to crowd pile
When
driver.
Lawler,
I think-
when Lawler grabbed Michael Cole's hand through the
That was
coal
my
mine,
favorite spot.
That was
That's my
amazing.
spot.
He
Yep.
starts smashing his face into the glass,
Yeah.
pulling him, and then
So
he pulls
good.
him in, so Michael Cole's face is all smushed
Yeah.
up against it, and then you hear the crowd pop. When
So good.
Did he hit the pile driver in the match? Did Cole take
No, he hit him with a drop kick.
Well, that's even better.
Austin's face is perfect afterwards.
Now,
Not only that,
Yep. I'll be right back.
and not
gentlemen.
only did he hit a drop kick, it was so funny because afterwards Michael Cole goes, "That was stiff. That was stiff."
Well, who does? Well, if one person's going to throw a stiff goddamn drop kick, it's going to be Jerry Lawler.
I mean,
How high did he get on him? Did
He
he?
hit him right in the face.
Nice.
He kicked him right
Good
in the
for
face.
Lawler.
Well, this is good because Dan's here from a perspective where he does not know what happened. So I'd say, Dan, I think the way to end this is really the babyface overcoming the odds and defeating the villain and finally laying waste after months and months.
The way I would book for this finish, I don't know how much Swagger was involved. I would
Pretty
have
heavily.
pretty heavily. Let him get a shot on Swagger. Maybe do like something where Swagger's up on the apron. Finally, Lawler gives him the shot. This lets maybe Cole come, maybe do something really dirty real quick to make you think that, oh, Cole's going to win this. Then, or even go for a punch. Lawler catches it, and then because throw a good punch, that's it. Something like that, but how to finish?
Well, Michael Cole had Jerry Lawler in the ankle lock.
That's stupid already.
Jerry Lawler made the comeback, put the ankle lock on Michael Cole. Jack Swagger threw in the towel. Stone Cold wiped the sweat off his brow and threw it out.
It was a good spot.
Swagger got into the ring, got stunned by Stone Cold. Michael Cole smacked and shoved Stone Cold, and then Austin shoved Michael Cole, and then Lawler beat him up, hit a drop kick, fist drop, 2 count, because
It's already too much.
Lawler pulls him up instead
Yeah,
of going
Lawler-
for the 3.
This is still
and then a second ankle lock on Michael Cole. Michael Cole was tapping out, but Austin was like, "Do you give?" And he kept asking, and just not. And Michael Cole was saying yes and tapping out. And then he tapped out, causing Jerry Lawler to win the
Jerry
match.
Lawler wins the match, right?
It's
Not till
15 minutes.
the whole thing is just very, very unnecessary to me.
Well, Dan, strap in because I'm not done.
Yeah, there's more.
Oh, really?
There's a big beer bash, and it reminded me. Remember when Stone Cold was on probation for hitting Deborah?
Sure.
And it was part of his probation that he could only drink at work.
I do, Shug.
Oh, Deborah.
That's right.
Imagine that you can only drink at work. You're on probation,
Right?
Fantastic.
And then Booker T's like, I'm getting in on this. And Booker T gets in the ring, takes a big swig of beer. Stone Cold hits him with a stunner in one of the best moments ever. Booker T takes the stunner, and as he's going up, he spits the
Like
beer.
Was Booker a heel?
No.
No, they had just brought him back too.
It was.
Yep.
It rang of.
He literally, he was a surprise. Him and Kevin Nash
At the
were a
Rumble,
surprise
yes.
at the
2011
Rumble.
Rumble.
They
I'm
were,
marking out, bro.
They were originally. That's right. They were originally supposed to be a part of TNA's Big Angle. They
Were they? They were part of the main
Yes,
event
they
mafia
were.
at this time.
it was the they gimmick that they were doing,
Yep.
but they were like, hey, WWE's like, hey, we want to put you in a surprise in the Rumble, and they
I'm
obviously took it.
But
you, Dixie.
wait a minute.
Jake, let him know.
The anonymous GM has sent an email.
Uh-oh.
And JR goes, I'm not much on this email stuff. It's 2011, Jim Ross, and you're on Twitter, so shut up. Like, stop this.
I'm an old man.
So the GM reverses the decision because Stone Cold was too lenient as a referee. So the winner of the match is Michael
Cole.
Now, was the GM revealed to be Hornswoggle?
Sure was.
So, as being a heel, that the GM was,
Yep.
really kind of puts a.
Oh, but that was also retroactive, done like a year, like 6 months
Oh,
later.
This is just. I mean, that Raw GM.
Oh, by the way, then
angle-
Austin stunned Josh Matthews.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
because
What is
Josh
he?
Matthews read the email and then they got mad. He goes, "I don't like emails." Throw him in.
That's how long did the Raw GM gimmick go for?
A long
like a year,
time.
right?
That was
felt forever.
At this time, was this? I remember when John Laurinaitis was around this time, right? Was he doing the people power?
I
at this
think
time?
it was
Actually,
after
the
this.
anonymous Raw GM had already left and come back because it was gone when Edge destroyed the laptop.
You
It was
are
gone.
hurting me.
This is just. This is. I think,
Please stop.
period.
Johnny Ace was the next year because they did Teddy Long versus John Laurinaitis.
Oh,
This
at
is just around the
WrestleMania?
time when they had.
But no, they had like their own part. Like it was
Oh,
Team
like
SmackDown versus.
Ugh.
It just seems like they had a lot of things right now that didn't lead any place.
Can I tell you what I would have? I mean, I hate fantasy booking, or I love it. I don't know.
Play some EWR.
I would have done all these months of Michael Cole going up to the laptop, opening it up. It's all revealed that it's him the entire
It makes
time.
sense. It
Then
makes so
you
much
pull
sense.
It's too
him
obvious.
off commentary and just let him be the heel. He got good heat. Whenever he said that he was a war correspondent, it cracked me up. It's good heel work.
I
But-
feel like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just if you built this, don't put him back on commentary.
This isn't the first time they've done that with Hornswoggle either. Was it Hornswoggle was
Son.
the son?
The
So
son
it
of
seems
Vince.
like whenever they get a something that either they
have nowhere to go.
They stop caring about, or they're like, fuck this shit.
What are we gonna do?
Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Hornswoggle,
I feel
man.
like he is just their thing now. Like he's just their bail button.
And
like,
you know what? God willing, hopefully they'll be riding
Well,
the Giants soon.
This sucks. Let's bring in Hornswoggle.
This sucks. Let's go to the next match.
Next up, we get an access video showing a woman paying $1,500 for a Jerry Lawler painting of the Undertaker.
Yikes!
There was an art auction,
She said when I saw it, I had to have it.
and she was an adult woman with braces.
Who do you think's the
Well, she's got braces money. Of course, she's gonna pay for that.
That's Invisalign?
Jake, I don't want to say anything because they're our new sponsor. So we should not be talking trash.
Adult
about
braces.
Do we all get adult braces?
Yep.
Yes.
Who do you guys
I
think?
want ones on my legs like Forrest Gump.
it. You got magic legs.
Who does everybody think is the better artist? Jerry Lawler or Bret Hart?
You got to throw what's his name, Lash LaRue, into that.
Do I? No, I don't.
Lash
he used to draw the back of the magazines.
He does the cartoons in the back of the.
Of
After
WCW
Mags or
magazines?
something.
Of the-
Lawler.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They
He might not be. I know Lawler is.
interesting.
Is a
I did
legitimate-
not know that.
I'd say probably Lawler.
Lawler.
Definitely.
I've never seen any. So I've the only artwork of Brett's I've seen is like little cartoons.
That's all he
That's all he
does.
does.
That's
Then
all he
it's
does.
definitely Lawler.
And
But
then-
Lawler's
you've ever s-
cartoons blow him out of the water.
If you've ever seen the he does more caricatures, Those
Doesn't
Did
Lawler
Law-
paint a lot of Coke pictures? No, I mean like Coca-Cola. That's like his thing.
Oh.
He loves
me too, according to your
Coca-Cola.
EWR game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jerry Lawler's just a super fan. Draws a lot of superheroes.
We should do a Dan Terry's EWR.
Yeah, fantasy booking.
I am all about that.
Lumberjake.
Do you remember when Vince Russo went on the it was the the New Legacy stream, the wrestling YouTubers that do wrestling streams? They played EWR
Nerd.
with Vince Russo. Like they were doing like this thing, and people started tweeting at Vince Russo, and Vince Russo tweeted them like, "What's going on?" They're like, "We Skype in and like help us book a show." He's
That's-
like, "Yep."
EWR.
He gave them all viruses.
Swerve. Next up, we get Triple H versus The Undertaker. No holds
I
barred.
liked this match.
Hot take.
I might have been the only one. So I don't remember the build up to it much, but the match was weird. There was a lot of start and go.
Well, here's
like
the-
start and
I'll tell you
stop.
what the build-up. Shawn Michaels told Triple H, "You can't win."
What makes you think that you can do what I couldn't do?
it.
You
You
can't
can't do
beat
it.
him.
See, that's-
And that was awesome.
That's simple, and it's straight to where it is. You
I
know
think
what mean?
that's even better than Shawn Michaels giving him like, "You can beat him." That's even. It's like,
exactly.
you can't do it.
Now this is
he's challenging him.
This is the first year. The year after, we'll get Triple H again with Shawn Michaels
Hell in a
as the
Cell.
referee, with a Hell in a Cell got its own theme music.
and it's the good thing is that yes, there was
The
this.
memory remains.
Was that the which one? Which pay per view? Which WrestleMania
WrestleMania.
was it where Undertaker came out to Katy Perry?
That's
That
this
was
one.
this
This
one.
was on NBC. They
he
showed.
came out to Katy Perry.
Here's
Yes.
the thing. They hold
California girls.
on.
Nope.
Hold on. I'll tell you what happened.
That's not California girls.
It's Alien.
It's ET.
Is
He
it?
came out to ET.
Yeah.
It was for the NBC airing of WrestleMania. They only aired a couple matches.
It was only an hour long.
One was Triple H and Undertaker, and with Undertaker's music, they gave him "E.T." by Katy Perry. You're an alien. Your touch so foreign. It's supernatural, extraterrestrial.
They only because it said supernatural did they
Yep.
put it on there.
So I liked this match. I know I might be
Yeah,
the
we know.
only
You
one
love
here.
no holds
Well, listen,
barred.
well, I was gonna say is that so they did this match and then it built to the next year, where it was the end of the era.
Yes.
And I can just
I
say
wish.
that I'm glad that they've never had another match since then.
And
that
I'm-
was the last time they ever competed each other.
Well,
because
J-
it was truly an end of an era.
JC, I have some bad news.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Triple H and
No,
Shawn
don't
Michaels.
Tell him.
I shouldn't?
Don't
Well,
stop.
listen, those guys are the crown jewels of professional wrestling, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
Listen, it's the Ultimate Royal Rumble. I mean, we got
The Ultimate Warrior Rumble. I love
Whoa,
it.
that's a thing?
So
not anymore.
Originally, Triple H had his entrance as the Gladiator. He came out to "For Whom the Bell Tolls," and then he went into the Triple H music.
Cool.
Undertaker came out to "Ain't No Grave" as his music.
Which was also awesome.
Yes, which they took out and they put in his
That's a
normal
shame.
music.
See, I was gonna say I didn't think either one of them get a really elaborate entrance, which really was big
But-
because Triple H now has his gigantic things.
Yeah, with his
and-
throne.
You
and all
mean
that.
Stephanie?
Yeah,
She's got two gigantic
and
things.
she's on her moped or whatever it is coming down. And
People
Oh my god, yeah.
people at this time were legitimately scared that Triple H would end the streak here.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
by the
Triple
way,
H.
this is the first Triple H versus Undertaker match that has ever happened at WrestleMania.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mikey,
Oh.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
but that's what they made it seem
No,
like.
I know that's what they wanted to make you think.
Yeah, he's never
Um,
given Triple H the opportunity to end.
But
Oh,
there's a
but
certain
we-
event
I
that
thought
we've reviewed.
I thought we've done it on this podcast.
show.
you don't know,
Yeah.
but actually, Undertaker was the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh,
WrestleMania 12.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, so
I've
But,
heard that rumor.
Yeah, if you go back
Little known
to
fact.
Best in Show WrestleMania Act 7, we definitely reviewed Triple H versus The Undertaker.
Yep, we did.
that never happened.
Do you think they decided to ignore it because it was American Badass Taker,
Doesn't count.
and they
Ooh,
didn't want to?
okay.
They didn't want to reference.
He's like,
no.
this is Booger Red Taker. We
Oh,
can't
I
have
would love
that.
if it was Booger Red Taker, Big Evil.
That's such a cool. Everyone. That's my favorite Undertaker.
He's about to
And
finish off
everybody
Triple H, and then
hates
Maven
it.
drop kicks him from behind.
That should just be the Undertaker. When Undertaker shows up to AWE, just Maven just drop kick him.
kicks him out.
It's like the zombie in ECW. Ugh, just drop kicks him in the back.
Rest in peace.
This match is plotting, though.
Oh,
So-
But-
yeah.
So
What's
let
the
me just say
plot?
about this match. So
What's the plot?
it was slow and long.
Which is
one
why you
thing
liked
that-
it so much?
Yeah, one thing that got to me about it was they started off brawling, right? Just going up like fighting.
Yeah.
They went outside, and this
Immediately tore apart the Spanish announce
Is
table.
so here's what pissed me off. So Triple H took a really nice back body drop off the table.
Yeah.
To the floor, which I thought was cool. But
Really
they kept,
cool.
They kept fighting, and they slammed
Off the table.
So
He took
here's
it. That
the
was
thing.
cool.
They were really building up Michael Cole's coal mine to
Yes.
protect him.
Uh-huh.
Triple H slammed him into the coal
And
mine.
just disintegrated it.
Fell apart. Not only did it fall apart, Triple H just gets back in the ring, and Undertaker just goes. You can't see, but he doesn't sell it. He doesn't do anything.
He just goes meh.
He's just like,
This was supposed to be like bulletproof glass and like.
Well, it's when they do an
LexCan.
elimination chamber. Like, it's bulletproof glass, and fucking
But I mean,
Nia Jax
it's-
is going through
But
it.
still, well, it's Nia Jax. Still, I mean,
Oh, man.
It'll stop a bullet, not a cannonball.
but like, Jake Bullet.
Yeah, it's Jake Bullet from
But
No
it's
Holds
just,
Barred.
it's just a thing where like you'd think he at least sell it a little bit to make it be like, oh man, that really hurt my back. No,
Nope.
he just sat there.
He sold it as much as it would actually hurt to like be like slowly pushed into a like a plexiglass. It's like, oh,
I'm actually gonna go back because I gotta go. It's gonna get with my tag team partner tonight.
Oh, well, because we are recording live here.
Yes.
Oh, we are.
So you're walking out of here to go to a wrestling show
I
right
just
now?
want to say that my favorite part of the main event was John Cena's entrance when he got the
choir?
I thought they were gonna sing "Jesus Walks."
Dan Terry's about to take off.
Dan Terry is walking out of this podcast.
Well, see you later.
I have a-
You're on number 7. What are
I
you
have a-
talking
I
about?
have a
The show
tag-
just started.
Well, I get a tag team
It
title.
hasn't
It hasn't started for 3
You
minutes.
can't sit here for another 15 minutes. Oh.
The show has not started yet.
There's a gigantic armadillo out there right now.
Oh, Lumberjake's checking
Jesus,
it out.
Lumberjake.
So-
Oh, no,
gotta
he-
go too.
Lumberjake. Well, I guess JC.
I guess it's just
you
down
and
to
I.
two-way theater here.
It's you and I.
they are marveling over an armadillo.
How about a Motzi? You want a Motzi?
I do want a Motzi. Past that.
There's a monster outside, so I'm gonna stay here for 15
All right,
minutes.
let's get like I mean we
Let's
can
power through this. What was your favorite spot of
hold
this
on.
No Holds Barred match?
All right, fine.
I'm an asshole, guys. I'm sorry.
My favorite spot is something that's been tried to be recreated since this time over and over again, and that's
I'm sorry, I love you.
That's the
dad.
kick out followed by shocked face.
That's every single.
And that was
match.
when after Triple H. No, that was
After Undertaker did his initial hair flip, tongue stick out, rolls, eye
Yep.
rolled back, crowd popped for that. But then when Triple H gave Undertaker the tombstone,
people really bought this was the end.
everyone
of the match.
thought this was the finish. Everyone thought it was the finish.
Yeah, this is around the time Triple H was beating everybody. You
do
know what
you
I mean?
do you know how I knew it was the finish? When Undertaker screamed, "It's time!" and then immediately got put into the submission hold, and then
The go-go
fell
platter.
asleep.
longest go-go plata in history.
Both guys were fined for this match because Undertaker took a unprotected chair shot
And
to the
bled.
head. Yeah, did he bleed?
They both bled, and Undertaker was also fined for the chair shot, but they
Yes.
were both fined for this match.
That surprised me a lot. That they would, I mean, I guess it shouldn't, but I mean that they would actually
Enforce the
Yeah,
fines.
on those two guys of everybody. You know what I mean? I could see them
Well,
doing
they
it.
have to because if they let it slide for them and don't give them any kind of
Right.
fine.
No, yeah, absolutely
no
right.
reason.
But it just surprised me they actually did it.
Up until a week before the show, this was supposed to be the last match on the entire show.
Hot take: they should have.
I agree.
Yes,
That's- yeah.
yeah.
If you're going to go with the original plan finish for Miz and Cena,
Ugh.
put this on last.
Yeah. But you have to bookend it with the title matches?
Do ya? Do ya?
They could have put an intercontinental title match at the end. It would have been better than.
What were your favorite spots in this match?
Mine was definitely the back body drop off the table.
That was cool.
Yep.
Yeah, same. Back body drop was pretty cool.
JC, Mikey?
Mine was shocked face.
We love back
shock
body
face.
drops.
Yeah.
I liked Triple H going for the hammer while he was in the Hell's
Go-Go
Gate,
Blada,
and he
yeah.
like reached it up and then like dropped it because he couldn't do it. I
like
thought
that.
that was cool.
That's
it
good
was almost like horror
storytelling and
movie.
drama. Yeah.
JC, how long did that match feel to you?
Oh man. Well, I fell asleep.
I'm gonna. Can I say 20?
Okay.
You can say 20 because I'm going to say 28 minutes.
It's 29-23.
Jesus.
Wow.
I would have lopped 10 minutes off of this match. Or
Which would have been 20, and I would have.
then Jade, you would have won. Next up, we got Lay Cool Dolph Ziggler versus John Morrison, Trish Stratus, and Snooki.
It feels like the beginning of this match. No one knew what was going on because there was a random, just kind of the girls fighting in the beginning, and then Morrison and Ziggler pulled them apart, and then it just kind of stopped, and Snooki slapped him, and then it just.
Get crazy, get wild,
It was just a weird.
Snooki did not slap Dolph Ziggler. They screamed at her to slap Dolph Ziggler.
Okay, yeah, something. But I mean, it was just like. You know what I mean? I was expecting that to go to something, but then Trish gets in and.
Well, apparently this match was John Morrison. Not only did he snub Trish Stratus at the end of this match. He also was very difficult putting this match together, and every time Trish tried to like pitch something, he just shut her down and said, "Absolutely not."
Who was supposed to be in? Now
He says Melina.
Yeah, I
That
remember
was the
hearing
strong-
that they didn't want Snooki in
Well,
this match.
I think a lot of people.
They wanted. Well, I mean,
They didn't want Trish.
Snooki was gonna be in the
Yeah,
match.
that
no
was
matter
happening
what.
regardless.
But why would it? I mean,
That's like Bam Bam going, "We should put someone else other than
well,
LT
so
in."
Trish was a coach on Tough Enough. Around
right?
this
Tough
time.
Enough was a new show
And,
at this point.
Holy shit, did she look amazing?
Yep.
She looked
You know
great.
what? I like the blonde hair better, but she didn't look bad here.
There was this.
Didn't look bad here, guys.
Soft
Hot take.
5.
If I had to, I'd sling it in.
There was a
but
sign
she's
that
not
says-
my first choice.
There was a sign that says.
Sling it in.
There's a sign that says John Morrison smells of peach.
which he actually does.
I can see that.
I would
There
love
was a
to smell
spot in the
it.
match that I don't know if it was supposed to happen.
The
or
top
not.
rope spot?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So they looked like they were going. For, what were they going? Was it a suplex or something?
She was
And-
sitting on Trish's lap like she was
Well,
riding a reverse
I don't know what I
cowgirl.
forget what Trish is going for, but they took like a Kowalski bump. And who was it? Who was this? Was this this was Trish and
Michelle McCool.
and
they fell out together.
They just and then they
started doing like outside spots. So I'm like, was that the planned spot?
I don't know. They got
It looked brutal.
So my thing is, they got it pretty quick from that. So that makes me think it was not planned. I think they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, we got to cover
There
this."
was a point. There was a point where Dolph wasn't even waiting on the apron.
Well, I was going to ask. So, I mean, Morrison was kind of a tough guy to deal with.
He was tough enough.
How much longer did he last in the company before he was
I feel like
gone?
it was only a few years. Like it couldn't have been much longer than
Like,
this.
I mean, 2011, so he's probably gone by like 20. He had to have been gone by like 2013. Our fans are cheering for us.
he hit his, John Morrison hit a Starship Pain to the outside of the ring, which was impressive.
That was my spot
The crowd seems to hate Snooki in the beginning
until she does
until
her.
she does
Oh
her
my
fucking
God.
That
move.
was my spot of the match.
Mine too.
Was
The
it her
handspring
move?
Her
elbow.
handspring elbow.
It kind of just came out of nowhere.
She also did a
spring splash, yeah.
which you know what?
I feel like she should have landed rather than land on her feet first.
For someone who hasn't wrestled before, that was pretty damn good.
Does this hurt? Did it hurt Michelle McCool for taking
No,
a loss?
not
to
at all.
Nah.
Clean
No.
like that?
No. Did it hurt everyone when she got in the first women's rumble and was just a fucking monster?
Was there
Yes.
so give me storyline wise, was there something between Michelle McCool and Layla at this time?
It seemed like
because
it.
the match starts and Michelle McCool just pushes her out of the way. She's like just yeets her and
Yeah.
like
Oh man.
and was there something going on at this time or
It
like
looked like
there-
it was the split up of the two.
Did they
at the
ever
time.
actually do a real split?
They did, but then they got back together right after.
the
So I'm
besties?
Layla.
See, this
I
was
love
one-
Layla.
This
I
is
know
one
you
of the
do.
rare.
Little
Oh,
English
yes.
muffin.
This is one of the.
That's Paige.
Oh,
This is one of the rare occasions where TNA struck while the iron was hot first. They actually got Angelina and JWoww from the Jersey Shore
right.
before WWE.
And JWoww, I feel, was a little bit better. Like as far as I mean, Snooki pulled off her part.
If you
I wish she did.
if you really wanted money, you would have gone with Mike the Situation. That's
Yeah.
the only real answer.
Well,
That's-
JWoww, Angelina was actually not happy about this. She called Snooki a fat troll.
which
and-
isn't far off.
And she said she's been jealous of me since day one, and she's a fat troll who should have never wore those shorts or been in a wrestling ring.
Well, the shorts is true because she was trying to pull those things down at every opportunity.
It's
When Snooki hit that fucking springboard, people went out of their minds. I remember.
It was I hadn't thought about that match in a long time, but then when I was watching this, I was like, "Oh yeah, Snooki hit that springboard, the back."
I'll tell you.
I told my sister about that. She was a Jersey Shore fan. She's like, yeah, she can do like springboards. I'm like, so everyone from Jersey Shore knew she could do this shit, but all the wrestling fans were like, wow.
I'll tell you my
fucking
favorite
marks.
spot of the match.
What was the favorite? What was your favorite?
Get wild.
I just like
This was actually Snooki's second match. She had a match on Monday Night Raw before.
What?
Yeah.
Her and Kevin Federline should have just tagged.
Snooki
Ran
hit
the town.
Snooki hit a Bronco Buster, and
I'd take that.
TMZ ran the story. Snooki hits crotch bomb.
So, where do we rank Snooki on the Maria Menounos scale of WrestleMania?
Oh, the Greek freak.
Like, I think for what she did in the match,
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say she did. I'd give her a
you know
a
what?
7 because she didn't do much, but what she did, she
Was
did
good.
well.
She did exactly what they wanted her to do. She brought in publicity a little bit, and she stayed out of the match. I don't think she was looking for much. She did her 2 spots,
Yeah.
and
She
was
went
perfect.
crazy. She went wild.
She's exactly.
And
was she considered hot?
No.
not
No.
then. Not then.
But now she's cute. She lost a lot of weight. But I don't, she never. I never watched Jersey Shore.
This was that perfect bridge match between the Triple H and Undertaker and the main event.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
fair.
to bring everybody down, yeah.
Yeah,
Which brought the main event later brought everybody
Well,
down.
you see, this would have been a perfect match between Miz and Cena and Triple H and
Yes.
Undertaker, rather than vice versa. Where I feel like this match was got an even better. Like, I don't know. It felt like the main event wasn't the main event.
Well, and here, I mean,
The
here
best
we
part
are,
about the
right?
main event was the Miz's hype package.
Oh.
yes, that was cool.
Do you hate me
The
now?
Miz,
Won't stop now.
how big was the Miz at this time? Like,
Big,
was he a star? Because I don't remember. I mean, I can't. I mean, now the Miz is obviously
I
dropped
mean, did you
off.
watch the hype video?
Yeah, but I mean, like the Miz.
He wasn't as big of a star as this would make you look.
Okay.
I'm a huge Miz fan.
I'm a
and
Miz
I was
fan.
really pumped for this, but he was still the pawn in the Rock versus John Cena
Yeah,
game.
this
But
was
that's
Brock
not
versus
his
Cena.
fault. And I think
I agree.
And if it was the Miz now in 2019, who is a lot smarter and cagier of a wrestler and a
Knows how
worker,
to tuck his chin when he's getting speared onto the concrete.
yes. But I think if the Miz had the knowledge that he had then, he would have been able to integrate himself into Cena and The Rock and he would have made
Yes.
himself more of the center.
Well, they had
He'd
already
only been around for a few years at this point, right? How long had he been
like
around?
2005
years.
2004 was,
2005?
2004 was the year of the Tough Enough.
So 7 years at this point. That's a good amount of
Pretty good.
time.
Well,
He's-
the Miz did interject himself when him and R-Truth had the main event match against The Rock and John Cena.
But that was later in 2011.
No, was it?
This
I
is
thought
yeah. This is still
That was Survivor Series.
R-Truth was
R-Truth
such a
and Miz.
weird.
R-Truth was the main event at Capital Carnage or some shit that they run in Washington, D.C.
That's what you want.
But Miz's victory over Randy Orton and cashing in Money in the
Was
Bank
huge.
was the biggest moment of that career for
Okay.
him. And I mean, I was thrilled for him in that hype package. It got me hyped again.
I think Bangin' Maurice is the career highlight.
Oh yeah,
That's-
definitely.
that-
Now he had also done a promo on Raw where he's walking through the locker room. That's when he did the one on JBL and he's doing all this stuff. That was a real breakout moment for me as far as the Miz goes.
the match was. I did not like the match.
But the
It's-
fucking finish.
So
the
I-
finish killed it all. Yes,
And
That's-
I've Mandela affected this because in my mind I thought the concussion happened a lot earlier in the
No,
match,
very
and
end.
that's what caused the match to be a little less.
Well, here's
than-
the thing about this match. Both of the last matches suffered because the Triple H versus Undertaker went long. It went very long, and it caused them to have to cut out time. Specifically, John Cena's shine at the beginning of the match, and it went right into Miz's heat again.
it's a. I mean,
It's a weird match.
I don't
wrote down
know.
It's just a weird.
This,
feeling
like you
match.
said, the point of this match was to get The Rock over and to build up to Cena and The Rock the next year.
which is just crazy and kind of insulting to the
Yeah,
Miz,
but it's like why? I mean, the original finish was just really, really bad. I mean,
Double countout?
how do you end WrestleMania with that?
you
Exactly.
can't. I mean, and even the way they did end it with The Rock. I mean, The Rock coming out got a really good reaction. Like, yeah, Rock's like, he said "fuck you" to the whole.
but I
the
feel bad
GM,
for
but-
John Cena.
But then
Like,
he, you know what I mean?
I feel bad for everybody but The Rock in the situation.
You gotta end. I think if you're gonna end WrestleMania, you've gotta end it.
Listen,
with
Miz
a
was one of the
strong-
few
you know-
guys that walked out as a heel.
retained.
and
win.
beat the biggest top star
But
in the
it
last
didn't.
10 years.
But it
Yeah.
didn't make him look good. You
No,
know what I mean? He
it did
did
not.
look stronger.
The crowd, the match lacked a reaction from the crowd because the crowd didn't believe that Miz could beat John Cena, and they were just waiting for the eventual confrontation of The Rock and John Cena.
Yeah.
Which next night on Raw they would announce next year's main event:
Yeah.
John Cena versus The
It's
Rock.
Once in a
unheard of in the
lifetime.
modern era.
That was
Yeah.
huge.
Which, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, see, the Miz, he looked weaker after this match.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
You're absolutely
He
right.
definitely did.
Where do you? Is he?
Especially because his legs were weak because he had that
Now,
concussion. It was
Especially the
horrible.
fact that the entire next night also had to be rewritten because of his
It was
concussion.
just such a thing where, like, I remember I didn't know the finish. When I'm watching it, I'm like, wait a minute, this is how they're gonna fucking end WrestleMania?
double
This,
count out.
But the double, like, I'm like, this is
they
terrible.
couldn't have done it
Well, it's
any
a double count
other
out.
way.
But then if you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Well, okay,
and then
so-
they had this weird moment with the anonymous GM where
Right,
what was
right.
the anonymous GM going to say that The Rock
it
disregarded?
doesn't matter.
I think
What
that-
if the anonymous
It
GM was going to
doesn't
restart the match
matter.
anyway?
I'd like to think it was an audible on Rock's part where he was supposed to do more with it, and they were cut like
They were short on time,
Um,
which is why it felt rushed.
Yeah, they were
Once-
at 3:58 and they're
But How would this match have been improved if you allowed Miz to be the ultimate opportunist himself and using The Rock to leverage against
You could have
Cena?
easily earlier,
He could have shoved Cena into the Rock, causing a roll-up skull crushing
Easy,
finale.
anything.
And then it's like, you just cost me the Rock, man. The match, Rock.
You could have still had The Rock get over in the end. If The Rock helps him win, beats Cena, have The Rock still get over on Miz. It's not.
Or the Rock, say Cena gets shoved into the Rock, eats a skull crushing finale, 1, 2, 3. Fucking Miz celebrates. Cena said, "You cost me this match, Rock," and then Rock gives him a rock bottom.
It's all you need. Yeah. It just wasn't a. It was just like
It's exactly that feeling is
the
exactly
highlight of this match for me was the choir in the beginning.
Which that was real good too. I enjoyed that. But this is again why the fact that
I wish
Triple
they-
H versus Undertaker should have closed the
I wish
show.
as a choir they were all like, "Blah blah blah blah."
Oh, sad John Cena.
If that happened on this show, I would have gone to the bathroom.
That's great. That's great.
JC, how long does this match feel to you?
Oh well, they didn't have the time for it, so let's go with 12 minutes.
Match went 15-21.
All right.
Wow, all right, it went longer than I thought it would.
I do want to change my my favorite match when we get into it.
You
cannot.
cannot.
No, you wrote it down.
really?
And
That's
you're
the whole
in.
point of this podcast.
Once votes are in, you cannot change.
Okay.
Dan, have you
I think you're
listened
gonna
to
be
our podcast?
I only listened to the Bo Douglas episode.
Let's see.
Wait, hold. While Lumberjake tallies the votes
Yes,
here. According to the Wrestling Observer reader poll, this WrestleMania really got mixed reactions. 35% for a thumbs up, 33% for a thumbs down, and 31% thumbs in the middle.
All
That's
right.
really all over the place.
Really all over
Yeah.
the place. Best match poll, according to the readers, was Undertaker versus Triple H. And the worst match poll would be Big Show, Kane, and Kingston and Marella versus the Core.
It's too short to rate. How can you even
those
rate
are
that?
those are exactly my.
Well, we'll see when
spoiler.
Lumberjake reads them.
God damn it,
Let me
Dan.
read these. Okay, I got Dan's here. It says Undertaker versus Sting. Dan, that didn't happen.
That was supposed to happen at this WrestleMania.
Yeah,
honestly,
Sting-
And that's why Dan lied to Sting.
This
that's
year-
why I wanted to change my answer now.
At WrestleMania 27, Sting was supposed to not only be inducted into the Hall of Fame, he was supposed to wrestle Undertaker at this WrestleMania. Really? This WrestleMania.
That is interesting.
because it's in Atlanta. How do you not have Sting in WCW?
And then the
WCW
promo was the guy had a
country.
bat. When the fuck did the Undertaker have a bat?
So
Or Katy Perry.
I've got the votes now.
All right.
Our first vote, best in show, Triple H versus The Undertaker.
Okay.
Worst in show, 8-man tag.
That was me.
All right.
Best,
It wasn't.
Rey Mysterio versus Cody. Worst, Cole versus Lawler. Best, Triple H versus Undertaker. Worst, Core versus Team Big Show. And then best Triple H and Undertaker. Worst, Core, 8-man tag.
Wow. Well, there you have it.
Well, there you go.
But you are correct in saying you can't really. I mean, to really rate the 8-man is it's
But
not
here's the
fair.
thing.
It
No,
wasn't.
I usually feel that way when it comes to squashes and things like that, or like matches that get dud ratings. This was purposely thrown out there with 8 guys who had
Nothing to
3
do.
minutes to do. Not even
What,
2
they couldn't-
minutes.
they
It was to get Big Show and Kane on the show.
It was.
Could
it
they
was,
not think of little wacky songs for them to sing for Snoop Dogg?
Could I?
Dan Terry, we're gonna say
is
goodbye.
leaving.
Thank you very much. He's gonna go call
We
his
will
match.
plug
Dan, do this out there.
Dan, I don't know if you should go out there into the
Yeah,
crowd.
you should probably
Yep.
wait.
You should probably
No,
go out
shh,
this
shh,
door.
shh, shh, shh. No, Dan, go
Let
ahead.
him. Let him go. Let him go.
It's going to
Yes.
be very
Very
cold
Don't
out
slip on the
there.
ice.
Yeah, Michael Cold,
And don't wake Daddy.
Daddy Bo.
There's one last thing that Lumberjake has to announce to us.
What's that?
The allotted time.
Oh,
for
that's right.
on-
So just to recap, Lumberjake went through and tallied all the non-wrestling segments, not including.
Not including like post-match shenanigans, like the
Okay.
car destruction, and not counting match hype videos.
Okay,
right.
So JC said an hour.
Yes.
I said 2 hours. Dan Terry, who just left, said 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Well, the total amount was 32 minutes and 16 seconds.
I should have kept it.
Wow!
I should have kept it my original
Yeah,
one.
JC went with 40, but he ended up being way off.
Wow.
Like 50% off.
Man, you shouldn't have been.
Well, you guys shamed
Influenced
me.
by us.
You
I-
guys shamed me, and I was like, "Ooh, you're right."
Do you have how much wrestling was on the show?
I don't, but I can tell you that it was 17 minutes before we got the first bell. 17 minutes and 3 seconds before the first bell. 3 minutes and 33 seconds was the rap segment. 3 minutes and 10 seconds was the Rock, Eva Marie, May, and Austin. 6 minutes was The Rock, Pee Wee, and the Hall of Fame combination, and then 2 minutes and 30 seconds for the Access video. But you have to add in probably another
Now,
2
you
or 3
also-
minutes for the network
And
video.
you also didn't add in entrances don't count in your edition.
Entrances don't count.
See, that
Entrances.
that screwed me up.
So you're not counting either. Is that aftermath with Undertaker and the fucking
Oh
little?
my god!
Oh, when he got carted out on the stretcher?
By
Yeah.
the way, the Cole Jerry Lawler, if you count the post-match stuff, 30 minutes. 28 minutes.
Just in that match?
Just for that match and
All
then the
right.
beer bash.
That's the time.
Okay.
That's where if you take the Undertaker fucking being a little bitch and not being able to get up,
Yeah.
and then you have the
That was half of the match.
Mike, you said something earlier this afternoon where you kind of hot taked me. We're saying I don't like
Wrestling?
And
WWE specifically.
I specifically meant WWE wrestling.
I agree with you because I like WWF wrestling, and I feel that there is a distinct difference. If you look at what we did with WrestleMania Act 7 and what we have 10 years later, right? Because that was okay. So 10 years later, you have this big show, and there's a very big. Oh, God damn it, big show! But there's a very.
I'm out of here. The match was over.
There's a very big difference between WrestleMania 17 and this WrestleMania, and the way they produce the product and the way everything becomes so like sterilized.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So I do have a big problem with it. I feel like
You mean like the all the entrances looking exactly the same?
Yeah.
And all like everyone's. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
like, and when we last month we did Uncensored, and Uncensored was such a
Quite
chaotic.
censored.
But Uncensored is a show where it's unanimously thought is probably one of the worst pay-per-views of all time, but you enjoyed it.
Well,
and I think that's because you were a WWF guy growing up.
well, there's a difference between match rate and like entertainment.
It's something different.
I almost put Cole and Lawler as my favorite match because I was entertained by it.
I just wish it was something different. I think because I wished it was something else, it made it really tough for me. Because they used to do such a good job with gimmick matches,
Yeah.
and I feel like they just lost their
You mean
way.
like the fake Rosie versus fake Trump you didn't like? How about the fake Hillary versus fake
Okay,
Barack?
all right,
Do you remember
well-
that?
Thing.
we
Remember he hit fake Rosie O'Donnell with a Fudgy the Whale?
I remember.
Remember when he brought out the owner of the Denver Nuggets, the Enos guy?
Okay, so listen to all of our episodes. He's
an Enos.
God damn it. On threewaytheater.com. We are now on Spotify. You can also check us out on Podbean.
We're not
iTunes.
online anymore.
No, we are. I mean, we're definitely online. Threewaytheater.com is an online website.
My mistake.
But you can check us out. All of our episodes are there. Past episodes, best
present,
in
future.
shows,
Bonusodes. Interviews.
We got it all, guys.
Yeah, baby.
Check it out.
Interview with Bonuso Douglas.
Interview with the Vampire. We have it all.
Classic. I love that movie.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Well, I'm Mike Pava.
I'm Lumberjake.
And I'm JC.
And this has been
Three-way theater.
Theater.
5-star
Show.
classic.
Show 5-star classic.
Match of the night.
Yep.
Dan Terry?
Fuck that
No,
guy. He
was
Was he
left.
even here?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Never again.
Didn't fucking watch Cole and Lawler.
Jesus
what a fucking
Christ.
Cannot believe